The head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
Hello, welcome once again to The Head, the Tail, the Whole Damn Thing with Mike D. McCarthy and James Knight. Today's episode, Pitch Black and Predator Badlands.
Well, hello.
Oh, well, hello. It's been a while. But welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
To The Head, the Tail, the Whole
you're not
Damn
welcoming
Thing.
me.
No.
You're welcoming them.
Our movie review podcast where we take an older classic movie and we pair it with a new release to compare and contrast and whatnot.
To be honest, when I first saw the trailer for Predator Badlands, the first thing I thought of was Pitch Black.
Oh, right.
Little did I know that both these movies were going to be about family.
Truth. And this is a bit of a departure for us. I mean, we have said since we started the podcast that we wanted to cross genres into sci-fi and into fantasy movies because there's often so much crossover with horror and makeup effects.
Yeah.
But we haven't really focused on sci-fi until this one, I think.
I think so too. And I mean, I'm ready to do a little bit more sci-fi here and there because I do love sci-fi and I really love horror sci-fi.
Let's go space nuts.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, before we get into that, though, I do have one thing. I just need to know if this has ever happened to you. So I went and saw Predator Badlands in the movie theater, and I go to get up at the end of it, and I realize I have lost my phone.
Okay.
But I had it when I sat down, so I know it's got to be in the cushions of the recliner. So I very foolishly stuck my hand down in that sandy pocket. It's just nothing but like just old popcorn dust and mushed up sour Skittles and hundreds of ancient farts that have been buried in the recliner since they were made.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah. I pulled my hand out like, just like,
what's the box in Dune you stick your hand into?
Totally. Like that? Well, so anyway, I take it out. I went and I got somebody at the front desk to come, and they had a flashlight and managed to get my phone
do you have any
out
hazmat gloves? We could open up this cushion a little bit and reach in there and find out.
A large pair of tongs, perhaps. I'll take anything. But they got it for me. But have you ever done that? Have you ever lost your phone or your wallet in the movie theater and had to stick around and like look under the seats and get on your hands and knees in the dark?
Yeah, I've had to kneel on the floor, especially back in the old days. You know, when it's the concrete floor.
Everything just sticks right to it.
Yeah, those old theater chairs. And no, I've been down there and discovered beer bottles and.
But at least the old theater chairs, you could just look under there and you're like, oh, there it is. But with these comfortable recliners, like it was all messed up in the works in there.
Oh man.
I don't know when the last time was they cleaned that, if they ever cleaned that.
I mean, we're talking about kids that make minimum wage. Kids that make minimum wage aren't pushing the bar to like, hey, boss, just so you know, I
went the extra mile for you, sir.
Yeah, I deep dived and cleaned the interior of the seats out. I mean, maybe you're looking for cool shit, you know, and I bet they find some cool shit.
There was so much uncool stuff. I mean, I just had a momentary brush with my fingers, but I washed my hand thoroughly before I left the theater.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on there right now.
Do you have any alcohol wipes? We usually use them to clean the semen off the seats.
That's okay. I'll use fire. I'll use fire. I'll be fine.
Shit.
But our first movie is Pitch Black. A movie. I saw this one in the theater when it came out. Did you see this one in the theater?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. And is the director? You do pronounce his name? It's David Too-hee or too high?
Tui.
Tui. Well,
yeah.
I was too high the first time I saw this in the movie theater.
It's pronounced Tui.
Tui.
But yeah, what I was saying earlier is when I first saw the trailer for Predator Badlands, I was like, oh, it's a hostile planet. It looks like there's some creatures and there's, an antagonist, now protagonist, that is fighting for survival. And I was like, I think these movies will pair well together. But yeah, I realized that really they're both about family. And that's important.
The Vin Diesel hallmark.
Yeah.
All about family.
Yeah.
And this movie, when it came out, this is kind of like what gave us Vin Diesel.
Kind of.
This and Fast and the Furious were kind of out right around the same time, right? And then Vin started becoming a household name.
Yeah, this came out in 2000, and the original Fast and the Furious, hold on a second.
Pretty soon everybody's mom was talking about Vin Diesel. Or maybe that was just ours. Mom loves Chronicles of Riddick. She loves that movie.
Does she really?
She does.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, Chronicles of Riddick, not a bad movie. Neither is Riddick. I think the whole character is a good sci-fi character,
Oh, I can't wait to talk about it then.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think the original Fast and the Furious came out in 2001.
Oh, so this is before Fast and the
I think
Furious.
he had done Triple X maybe before this.
No, I don't think so, man. Another movie I saw in the movie theater. 2002 Triple X.
Yeah.
So this is the movie that birthed Vin Diesel really to the forefront of the zeitgeist.
At least our mom. Yeah. This was what got people hot on Vin Diesel. Now, he'd been around a little bit and had done some things here and there, but...
He's in Saving Private Ryan.
I guess he is, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That was prior to this.
Boiler Room might have been before.
Yeah.
Pitch Black. Yeah, certainly they didn't just hand over this sci-fi movie to this guy without knowing he had the charisma to carry the film. Because I will say this, he's got charisma. That's undeniable. That's undeniable.
Are you alluding already to the fact that you're not a Vin Diesel fan?
Let's get into it, because... Like I said, I saw this when it first came out, and then revisiting it again a couple of times has sort of changed my opinion about some of the things in this movie.
Okay.
And maybe it's because I've grown old and stuck up in my ways, but...
oh, goodness.
Do you have a Pitch Black write-up or a synopsis that you can share with us before we get into the thing?
Yeah, I do. And in honor of Vin Diesel, who apparently is a family tradition...
Yeah.
I sort of took my write-up in the vein of Dominic Toretto.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought you were going to rewrite the lyrics to All in the Family. To Pitch Black. Oh, the way the spaceship crashed. Bounty hunters had him on the lash.
Look at all this desert lands.
That was Pitch Black.
Oh, shit. I think we just did.
And then, the sun went down.
Here the monsters come around.
Everybody had to run and hide to survive the night.
I couldn't come up with anything fast enough. Oh, shit. All right. We'll put that one on hold. So here we go. Here's my little write-up of Pitch Black.
Lay it on me.
You ever find yourself stranded in the middle of nowhere with nothing but a sun on every horizon and a crew you barely know? Because that's what happened out there on that dead rock on the planet. We went down hard like a Supra in a straight-out drag against a 70 Charger RT with a supercharged 426. When we hit the surface of the planet, the transport ship was torn apart like an oil pan with a connecting rod grenaded through it. Sand, heat, wreckage, everywhere. People scared. Just a bunch of confused strangers trying to stay alive. And then there was me, Riddick. I'm scary like an SRT in the rain, but I'm dependable and quick off the line like a 9-inch Ford posse traction rear end.
Okay. Jesus.
I also got a rep, the kind that makes most folks granny-footed, covering the brake. Chains can't hold me. Fear can't touch me. I even had my eyes shine like aftermarket halogens. But out there, on that planet, I wasn't the thing to worry about. The darkness was. Soon as those suns dipped, the creatures came crawling out. Sharp, fast, hungry, big-ass hammerhead shark-space pterodactyls.
Yes.
And the only way any of us were gonna make it through was by sticking together. And that's when those strangers started acting like a crew. That's when a crew starts becoming a family.
Yeah, sure.
Working together like a perfectly timed Chevy 350 long block switch from points to an HEI system. Sure, I could have walked off into the night and let the rest of them get torn apart like a rookie who hits the NOS too early and blows his shit up at the starting line. Or a pop-collar fool trying to take a hairpin in a stock Supra when he should have invested in a coilover kit. But I didn't.
It almost goes without saying, really.
Because even a lone wolf knows the race ain't worth running if you're crossing the finish line alone.
God.
In the end, we got out. Not all of us, but enough to keep the story going for 2 more live-action features, an animated feature, a video game, a made-for-sci-fi TV short piece of trash that fit about as well as a metric wrench on an imperial nut. But it was enough to remember that sometimes the baddest guy in the room isn't the one who saves you. It's how legit your crew is, because they're your family.
God.
Pitch Black.
That synopsis was neither fast nor furious enough.
Come on. Come on.
Pitch Black came out in 2000 in space where only Riddick can hear you scream. Yeah. Starts off with the obligatory boy, isn't this a long spaceship shot.
Sure. Yeah.
Always imitated. Like, do you have to have that if you have a movie with a spaceship at its core? It's like,
I think
here we are in space.
Yeah. I mean, Star Wars started that, didn't it?
Sure. I mean, George Lucas could have got that from somewhere else, but certainly, yeah. It's in like every space movie. Spaceballs,
Star Crash, Alien. Yes, all of them. You're right. Aliens. I believe there's a shot like that at the Sulaco, right?
Yeah. Just gotta slowly crawl by. Enough time for the opening credits.
You want to show that model?
And this one shows the ship going into the tail of a comet. And you start immediately getting the old VO from VD. Vin Diesel. He's there. They say most of your brain shuts down in cryo-sleep. All but the primitive side. The animal side. I mean, the dude's got a great voice, and he knows how to deliver it here. But
yeah, he does.
Especially the second time I watched this movie, I just started going, pfft. But he explains how he's on this ship with a bunch of people locked in cryo sleep, civilians and some miners, prospector types. Smell of leather and a tool belt. Because he has heightened senses. You get this right away.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, he's not asleep because he's too tough for sleep, I guess.
Yeah.
He's the only one. You see him in his tank, red light. He's blindfolded. He's got like a bit in his mouth and his arms are chained. He's obviously a bad dude. I think it even says something on his cryo tank on the glass. Says like,
do not open until Christmas.
Do not open till Triple Xmas. But pretty soon the comet's debris, or whatever, the tail of the comet starts penetrating the hull of the ship. And it's slicing into some of the people and killing them in their tanks. And whoop, 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 we get the klaxon sound, and the tanks eject the crew members out. Captain is killed instantly. So we just get like 2 crewmen, a man and a woman.
Yep.
Who have to try and navigate the ship, right, as all hell is breaking loose on the inside. And they're going down towards this planet. Everything's going to hell, all haywire. Alarms are going off. More comet pinholes are getting cut into the hull. She's going to crash land on the planet unless she can pull it up. So she's just jettisoning different parts of the spaceship to try and make it lighter, to try and pull out. And she tries even to jettison all the passengers on board.
Sure. There's that moment of like, do I or don't I or should I try and save my life? And doesn't somebody else, does Cole tell her that she should? I can't remember.
No. It's the other crew members like, don't you do it. Don't you do it, Fry, I think is her name in this. Don't you do it. And so she tries, but there's some sort of malfunction, and she's unable to do it.
The handle's jammed.
The ship crash lands on the planet. The windshield breaks. Bright light pours in, just like leaving a trail of destruction. Cole, who is, or I want to call him Cole. He plays Johns, but it's Cole Hauser.
Yeah.
Pre-Yellowstone, pre-Rip Cole Hauser.
Yeah.
Looks a lot different with blonde hair and no big beard. Yeah.
He looks so different, almost like you would think he was another long-lost brother. Yeah. Their father, Wings Hauser, of course, nuts.
Oh my God, is that Wings Hauser's son? I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact, Cole Hauser looks like Wings Hauser, especially in this movie.
Boy, I had no idea he was a Hollywood legacy baby.
Oh, yeah. Before we get too far, you started with the voiceover by Riddick. Now, that was something they added later because after test screenings, everyone figured out that Riddick is actually the favorite character. They changed the ending of the movie after a test screening.
Really?
They added his voiceover stuff after the test screening.
He wasn't intended on being the sort of hero of this film from the beginning?
Kind of. But he was supposed to die in it.
Huh.
And spoiler alert, he doesn't die.
Makes a lot of sense. Because, one of the issues I have with this movie is as it continues on, a lot of suspicion gets cast on him. And it does at times feel like the movie is trying to make you think like, oh, did he kill the other people? Is he a threat? Might he turn bad, turn heel, and murder all of them? And I think it's because of this voiceover and everything in the beginning. Like, never once do I believe that he's going to turn heel.
Yeah, totally, 100%. But he wasn't always supposed to be Vin Diesel either. Cole Hauser wanted this job.
Oh, of course.
And the studio wanted to give it to Steven Seagal.
Well, that makes perfect sense because as we will see in this movie, Riddick is good at everything in a way that is so dumb that I feel like only Steven Seagal would have pushed for that.
That's right.
The base of knowledge that Riddick will sort of display throughout this movie is something
very Seagal-y.
Quite astounding. Yes.
Yes.
But the ship is crashing on the planet. It's breaking apart. Other passengers have now been ejected from their pods, and they're hanging on for dear life, getting knocked around as this thing leaves like a 10-mile trail of destruction, scraping along the planet's edge before it finally comes to a stop, and everyone has a chance to catch their breath.
Yes.
And right away we get one of the production hallmarks of this movie is that they use a fuck ton of filters. Like they've got like bright light for the yellow sun, and they've got like bright blue light for the blue sun, and once we get into the darkness, the lighting will change. I think it's something that when I saw it in the theater, I thought was really cool at the time. But if I start criticizing this movie right now, I would say that they use sort of tricky camera work in place of good storytelling a lot of the time. This looks neat, and as they get outside the crash-landed vehicle, it's so bright it almost hurts your eyes, Yeah. It's like the yellow is popping so hard that you kind of want to put on sunglasses.
Well, they did something called a bleach bypass to the original film stock, which leaves a lot of silver in the film.
And the studio was afraid to have them do it because it was going to alter the original negative to the point where it would be changed. And so if they fucked up, there was kind of no going back.
Oh,
or it would be a big deal to try and go back and repair it all. So they did a specific process to it that made all those blues and yellows and everything sort of pop.
Not unlike how Suspiria was done with the 3-color printing system, but this was, altering the original negative.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What a gamble.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
It often looks good. It looks good, and since light and dark have such an important part to play in this movie, I think it's a cool effect, and I think it works well. Just might...
Yeah, bleach bypass.
A bleach pass.
Bypass.
Oh, nice. I think now people get that done on their butthole. They pay a lot of money for that.
They do.
I'll take the bleach pass because I'm going to be here about 3 times in the next 6 months. So just how many times do I have to punch that card before I get a free one?
That's pretty good.
But in the crash aftermath, looks like Riddick's tank has broken open. And Cole Hauser, Mr. Johns, dressed like a space cop, essentially. Mm-hmm. Like he just got off the set of Outland or something.
Yeah, totally.
He's warning everybody, the prisoner's escaped. Everybody keep your eyes open. He's dangerous. And then as he's sort of exploring the wreckage, Vin Diesel tries to strangle him with his feet. He's hanging in the shadows up above, and Cole Hauser, Mr. Johns, is underneath, and then Vin Diesel's feet come down and they wrap around his neck and choking him out. But Mr. Johns manages to shake him off, and Vin Diesel hits the ground, and Mr. Johns hits him with his baton. One of the few times where they get the better of Vin Diesel in this movie, but they don't really show you too much at this point. I feel like they're actively trying to keep his cool, so they don't want to see him get his ass kicked too bad at the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, you got to show he's a viable bad guy. You don't want to show him getting taken out too easily. And they don't show the eyes yet, do they?
No, they're keeping his face kind of secret at this time. You did see him blindfolded hanging in the cryo tank in the beginning of the movie, but at this point, no, they keep him in the shadows, so to speak. The other passengers are up now. They're getting their shit together. And this is when Fry, the female crew member, finds the other crew member has been skewered during the crash. He was sort of the other one with authority on the ship. She essentially is the boss at this point. Now, the rest of the crew doesn't know that she tried to jettison all the passengers and just kind of fucked it up. But nevertheless, she's the boss. And you meet some of the other characters here. You meet Claudia Black. She plays like a prospecting woman. She was on a trip to some sort of mining planet. And you meet the antiquities dealer. I can't remember what his name. I think his name is Paris
Ogilvy?
Yeah, Paris Ogilvy the third or the fourth or something like that.
That dude is such a fucking douchebag. And the moment he's on screen, I'm like, when does he get killed? Because I'd like to see that.
I mean, you consider who you would want to be like trapped on a desert island with or something.
Not this fool.
This guy has the wrong skill set for this.
Yeah.
Like prospecting mining lady, yes. Vin Diesel, he's a pilot, we will find out, sure. Cole Hauser, security, sure. All of these people have viable skill sets. This guy's like, this is an excellent vintage Merlot, 1983.
I have a whole bunch of Earth antiquities where are you taking?
Yeah. He's got like blow darts from a tribe in Papua New Guinea and a lot of stuff that never really comes to any sort of fruition.
It could have been used in some sort of cool way, like they construct something out of it or use
or somebody gets killed with this like war axe from this tribe or they use the blow dart. None of that ever really happens. You also get Keith David in this movie.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Keith David.
The Imam, he's traveling with his 3 sons to New Mecca because apparently Islam has made the intergalactic jump.
Of course it has.
Yeah, good for them. Well done. But they're on their Hajj, and from time to time, Keith David will be relied upon to drop like little nuggets of wisdom throughout this movie, which honestly, often, especially on my second time around, I was like, pfft.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with you.
You also meet Jack, might be their name. I put Mouse down as the character. Essentially, it's his mousy kid. Like,
it is Jack.
I guess their parents may have died in the wreckage. It's never really addressed who his parents are or where they are going. It's also...
I thought it was like sort of tied to Paris Ogilvy, like his sort of Man Friday.
Manservant?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, they have interactions in the very beginning as we're meeting their characters. And he says something like, did you run away from your parents or did your parents run away from you? But yeah, this character is just so unnecessary and annoying to me. And because number one, from the beginning, I can tell that this is a girl.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're all like, oh, the boy over there, the boy over there. And it's so like...
It was a lot like Dragon Slayer.
Yes.
Same in the Dragon Slayer. Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, we're going to suspend our disbelief for this a little bit. But this character will also immediately become so enamored with Riddick's personality that they start to...
be crazy
at them. Yeah. Wear some sunglasses like him. They're going to shave their head like him. So yeah, in terms of skill sets that we don't need for the desert island survival trip, antiquities dealer and, kid with an identity crisis, those are two things.
Yeah.
We could possibly save those for civilization.
Falling in love with a killer.
Yes. Yeah, so they all talk about as like this awful killer who will gut you in your sleep.
Yeah.
Now, Riddick has been knocked out by Mr. Johns and secured, sort of cuffed around a metal post in the wreckage of the ship. Everybody else is getting their stuff together, figuring out what supplies they have, what supplies they need, and, we don't have any water. We're going to have to find water someplace. But we've got all this booze, so we might as well just drink all this. And they're drinking, like, Southern Comfort straight out of the bottle.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously? What person thinks this is what you should immediately start drinking in the desert? Wine, whiskey. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've got this covered.
Especially like a desert planet or a foreign planet where you have no idea what is around you.
Yeah.
You're like, well, if there's a better time for Southern Comfort, I haven't found it yet. Unscrew that bad boy. I haven't had this since I threw up violently at age 17.
Yeah.
But here we are. Back on the ship, Riddick is secured, and he does, I want to call it a double Houdini. He sort of just dislocates both of his shoulders to raise his arms up above his head and slip the bonds through a crack in the pole that he's been sort of secured above.
To.
Yes, sensed above. Yeah. It's just one more example of how Riddick will do everything well in this movie.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because Riddick, escape artist. There you go. Vin Diesel, escape artist.
Sure, yeah. He did escape a maximum security prison, which is why he was being chased by...
Mr. Johns. It doesn't take long for Mr. Johns to notice. He's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
And so he tells all the other prisoners, he escaped maximum security prison. He's a bad guy. But they're like, well, we're on a desert planet. If he leaves us alone, fuck him. We need to find water.
Yeah, but first let's get drunk.
Yeah, and they're like, well, as long as we find it before sundown, shouldn't be a problem. And it's at this point someone says, hey, everybody, look at this. There's 3 suns.
I'm not sure there's going to be a sundown.
I do say I like this design of the planet. I like looking out at the horizon and you see the rings of the other planet or the nearby moon that has rings kind of creeping over the horizon.
It's cool.
There are some neat sci-fi landscape elements to this movie that I think are pretty cool.
Well, they shot this in Australia, and they shot it in kind of the same area where they did Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Okay, sure.
But they shot in the winter, in Australia's winter, because in the summer it would have been a little bit more unbearable. But it was rainy.
Really?
It was raining a lot.
No shit.
And it turned the ground to mud to where production vehicles were getting fucked up and stuck. Man. And it was cold as fuck. Because it was like in the 40s, Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Because it's their winter. And they had to make the actors look like they're hot and not wearing a lot of clothes. So they're wearing like tank tops and they've got like glycerin and they're being spritzed with water and they're in like fucking 40-degree temperature. And
that's amazing.
To the point where, like, David Toohey was worried that at some point he's going to be able to see, like, their breath coming out of their mouths during certain sequences. So this movie was a very, very hard movie to make as far as, like, being on location and just being beaten down by the weather and the environment,
the elements.
And it was also and it was a sacred Aboriginal area where they were shooting as well.
Oh,
and at one point
I'm sure they got the proper permits, mate.
Yeah, well, at one point they were worried that they were cursed by the spirits of the Aboriginal elders that inhabited the land. So yeah, that right there is it's an Australian Hollywood Minute.
Well, good on the production team then. They never look cold in this movie.
No, they don't.
You would never know that because
That's
this movie
acting.
does look hot. It does look dry.
Yeah.
And it's all, as we talked about, bleached out.
Yeah.
They're trying to decide which way do we go. And I think it's Keith David who's like, blue sun, blue water. And they're all like, this is good ideas. I got
sure.
this. So they start heading towards the direction of the blue sun. But essentially, this gives them that opportunity to put like the blue filter on the movie and change the whole look of it again.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're looking around and they see in the distance, it looks like there's some trees over there. Well, where there's trees, there must be water. So they start making their way across the desert landscape, and only to find out that they're not trees at all, but it's some sort of graveyard for these huge beasts. It's just a bunch of bones sticking up out of the earth, not trees
Essentially
at all.
Dinosaur bones, just huge giant rib cages and everything.
Like an elephant's graveyard or something there.
Yeah, yeah.
And little do they know they've gone in the same direction as Riddick, and Fry, the female pilot, is sort of taking a moment to rest near the rib cage of this giant prehistoric creature, and she's splitting a bottle of Jack Daniels or something with Mr. Johns.
Smartly splitting a bottle.
And this is at the point in the movie where they're still being wary of Riddick. He could be anywhere. He'll cut you. He'll slice you open without a second thought, so be on your guard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an unusual thing because, again, I don't ever feel like it's going to happen, so it's a lot of false tension that they're spending a lot of time building up with this character.
Yeah.
And at this
I feel
point,
that's from the original idea, the concept of the movie, and the fact that he was not necessarily going to be the hero that was going to survive in the end. I think that was left over from that, obviously.
And this is the part, too, where, like, as she's leaning against this rib cage, you see Riddick is actually just behind her in the shadows.
Yeah.
He's found some cool, like, welding goggles that he can wear now because his eyeballs don't react so well to the light. He's always got to wear his sunglasses. He's following George Clinton rules, essentially. Like, the law is you got to wear your sunglasses. So
yeah. He's making his funk the P-funk for sure.
But he leans in and he takes like a shiv or some sort of scrap metal that he's fashioned into a knife, and he just chops off like a little piece of her hair without her noticing.
Yeah.
And then, gives it another sniff.
First of all, girls got short hair. That's not a very sharp knife. And the way they mimic it is like, oh yeah, this happened easily. And I'm thinking, there's no way. He would have been sawn. She would have been like, what the fuck? My hair's stuck on something. And pulling her head away. But no, he just easily like, snink, takes a little bit and then just sniffs it like, yeah.
Trichophilia.
All about
Vin
family.
Diesel. Trichophiliac. We talked about that together, right? We're like,
we did.
The weird hair fetish. But here he is, just like giving it a good sniff and then like blowing it in the wind poetically after she leaves. It's during this scene where Fry tells Mr. Johns that she almost dumped everybody on the planet. And I thought, girl, why? That is a secret that died with the other crew member. You could have taken that one to your grave and you probably would have been better off for it. But
I was almost a total asshole earlier, but I've had a change of thought.
they've set up a base camp now. They're just trying to figure out how they can survive on this, and they start splitting off, doing different jobs. Or, I don't know, some people are like digging trenches, maybe for shelter or water or something. They've got a little lookup set up just in case, Riddick will be around. What's his name? Thurston Howell III or whatever. Paris Ogilvy the Fourth.
Yeah.
He set up like a little
there with a parasol.
Antique parasol.
Yeah. So stupid.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I'm like, please, Riddick, cleave this guy's skull in half. Please.
Well, I think at one point, Mouse, the kid, sneaks up behind him, like jump scare, like, wah, has some sort of like boomerang in their hand, and they put it at his neck. That's just how Riddick will do it. He'll slice your throat when you're not even looking.
Yeah.
You'll be dead before you even hit the ground. I'm like, listen, man, we crashed on a desert island. I do not have time for this shit, okay? Just fucking go over there and blow up the inflatable mattress or something. Like, everybody should have a job at this point.
Besides being creepy.
Yeah. The recon group finds an encampment a little ways off and evidence of water. It looks like some colonists have been here before, and they have some devices set up with solar panels that help turn on the lights and start like a water pump. A research station, essentially, is what they come across. And this is when Carolyn Fry, the crew member, she finds that model of the solar system. I do love this conceit about the movie, right? I do love just the basic idea of like, everything is fine as long as the sun is out, and the sun is out for 15 years or whatever. 22 years, I think. And then once it gets dark, it's not going to get light again for another 20 years or something.
Is that what it was, though? Or is it just like a day of darkness and then everything's fine again?
I always got the feeling it was going to be like dark for a long time. Like there would be no escape. There's no waiting out these monsters once they're on the planet. They can't just hole up anywhere. At least that's the impression I was getting from the solar system model and all that kind of stuff.
Well, in that terrible made-for-sci-fi TV 40-minute short called Into Pitch Black, which is essentially a cop who is the ex-partner of Mr. Johns and is sort of working for an insurance company, I guess, to figure out, where Ogilvy was and all this other stuff, because there's a big giant insurance contract and what happened to these people and so on and so forth. And it was terrible, but he had footage of guys on the planet like, we found a body, it's been cut apart and looks like it's been partially eaten and blah, blah, blah. And it was still light. So I don't know how long it was going to be dark for.
Oh, okay. I got the impression that at least they couldn't just wait for the sun to come up, dusk till dawn style. Like, they had to get this done in the dark.
Otherwise, they could have figured it out, couldn't they? You just hole up in the spot.
Exactly. Everybody take a doorway. Everybody arm yourselves. We've got all these antique weapons.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of flammable liquid.
That would have been pretty cool, actually. Yeah. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, they have all that booze. Nobody ever thinks, make a fire in this movie. No.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever Molotov cocktails. Sure, they make torches out of them, but that's it.
Yeah, Molotov cocktail would be a very effective weapon on this planet.
Yeah, you'd think.
So while the recon group is at the encampment and they're figuring all this stuff out, and they find a spaceship, and she's like, yes, this is great, we can get off the planet, but it's got no juice. They're going to need to get the batteries back from at the crash site and get them to the spaceship in order to operate it and fly off. Meanwhile, back at the base camp, everybody's getting spooked, and one of them accidentally shoots one of the survivors from because they think it's Riddick, and you just get some rando shows up. It's a guy.
That's true.
He's like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm in this movie. He essentially knocks on the door, and he opens it up, and they just shoot him dead right away.
Is it Jack, the little mousy kid, that shoots him?
No, I think it's Zeke, who is one of the other survivors. And he shoots him because he's freaking out a little bit that it's Riddick. And they're like, oh, you fucking idiot. And they make Zeke haul the body off to...
And that's
put it in a trench or a hole.
And that's when Zeke gets his comeuppance and meets the film's real villain.
As he's trying to put this body sort of down a hole into the earth, one of the monsters, which can only be in the darkness, grabs a hold of him. And this is also an issue I have with this movie, is that you rarely see anything happen to anyone. It's all a lot of quick cuts and close-up angles, and then like there might be like a blood splatter on a wall, but it's like quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, scream, blood splatter. Yeah. You hardly ever see these monsters, with a couple of exceptions in this movie, take a bite out of somebody or tear somebody to pieces or anything like that. So I find, at least in that area, the effects to be a little underwhelming for this movie. There's some other cool stuff.
The creature was designed by Patrick Tatopolous, who did Independence Day. He had a shop in Los Angeles for a while during the time of like Independence Day, and they also did the Godzilla reboot in like '97, I think it was.
Oh, okay. Oof.
Yeah. He designed that version of Godzilla as well.
Okay.
So he did design this creature.
But the build was handled more by Jason Baird, a guy I know who worked for John Cox Creature Shop in Australia.
There are not a lot of practical elements to this creature. Most of it is visual effects done by Peter Chang, who went off of the designs that Tatopolous came up with. So obviously it's very visual effects heavy. Sure. I think there's maybe like one prop head that might have like the front, might be like a tail prop piece and a front of the creature piece that was only ever created, and that's kind of it. And nothing too spectacular. So you're right. It is underwhelming in the fact that it is all a bunch of digital, and it's year 2000 digital, so it's not great.
One benefit, though, is that just the conceit of having these monsters live in the dark is that you can keep them in the shadows.
Yeah, you have to keep them in the dark.
I think that helps it out. And I find that, too, with, like, not just the effects, but the stunts in this, like the hand-to-hand combat and stuff. It's always quick cut, quick cut, quick cut, quick cut. It's very hard to see anything really happen or anything develop in terms of a story beat visually. Instead, they just rely on a little flash and bang, and Bob's your uncle, as it were. Somebody will be knocked out, which will happen in just a second. Because for some reason, Claudia Black, her name is Shaza in this, but she's the prospector lady. She hears Zeke screaming as he's getting torn apart by this monster, and she runs to where he's at and only finds like a bunch of bloody pulp on the tunnel wall leading underground.
Yeah.
But also Riddick is there. She just stumbles across Riddick. And she immediately thinks like, oh, Riddick has done this.
Yep.
And is raising an alarm. And then
wrong place, wrong time.
Vin Diesel.
Riddick's life.
Running away. Slow-mo Diesel. Running between the ribs. And I think Mr. John steps out with a baton, knocks him down. And then they all just sort of swarm around him. And they knock him out. They manage to get the better of Riddick. Something that doesn't
happen very often in Riddick's life.
No. But it's happened now twice in this movie in like half an hour.
Well, this is pre-Riddick.
Yes, you don't know much about him other than he's a mystery man. But he will show no fear, and he will show hardly any evidence of ever being winded or hurt or anything. He is always cool all the time throughout this movie.
I believe that's in Vin Diesel's contract. Always
think
cool
it is.
All the time.
It is fucking ridiculous. This is 2000, and I mean, Vin Diesel's from California originally, but he grew up largely in New York City, I think in Manhattan. But he is like the prototype Jersey meatball. I feel like Vin Diesel is like single-handedly responsible for giving us like that Jersey Shore attitude of like douchebags always trying to say like the tough thing, spending all their time in the gym and tanning and everything.
Yeah.
Sort of like, I'm the coolest guy in town. I gotta act fucking tough all the time. I've always got the right thing to say. And Vin Diesel is good at that in this movie, but Especially the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, I think the world would be a different place if this movie had never come out.
Yeah. You think so? You think the world could have been spared Vin Diesel? How do you know?
Listen,
thank goodness this movie came out, because otherwise, how am I going to enjoy The Fast and the Furious? What, with Steven Seagal? Can you imagine that? Come on.
My God. Well, you know, he was a record-breaking IndyCar racer. I think Steven Seagal told people that.
Well, before this, he had done Saving Private Ryan, and he was the voice of the Iron Giant. So you're right, he hadn't done a whole lot of other things.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, I don't want to shit on Vin Diesel too much. I think he's good in this movie. I just look at how he is good at everything in this movie. It's something that, like, incels a lot of the time bitch about Mary Sue characters. If there's like a female character in a sci-fi movie that does everything well, the internet goes fucking bonkers with hate. The actress will get death threats. And, like, Vin Diesel is such a ridiculous Mary Sue in this movie. Like, he never says a wrong thing. He's good at everything that he does. He's incredibly tough. But he inspired a whole fucking subculture of Jersey meatballs to follow in his footsteps. Yeah. Oh. And we get it. We get it in the next scene. He's tied up again, and the captain, Carolyn, she is interrogating him, and he's so tough. He doesn't even really listen to her. He's just like, you hear the whispers. Go for the sweet spot. Fourth lumbar down. The abdominal aorta. Blood has a metallic taste like iron or copper, blah. Chase it with some peppermint schnapps, blah, blah. He's just saying like ridiculous horseshit.
I didn't think that was a good cocktail idea.
What the fuck are you talking about? And I wish that they had given the captain's character the wherewithal to say that to him. But this movie is about making him cool and intimidating in this moment, so they just play that note. And this is when the kid is watching him, the mousy kid.
Yeah.
Wow, where can I get eyes like that? Prison doc did a shine job in exchange for a pack of cools. For a pack of cool menthols. This is the year like 3000, but they still got fucking menthol cigarettes out there.
Oh, yeah. Cools, nonetheless. And, you know, those eyes, they're digital a couple of times here and there. There's obviously a lot of VFX in this movie. But they did have some eyes, some chromium lenses that he wore. And the first time they used them, they actually couldn't get them out. And they had to call an optometrist to come from like 3 hours away.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Like on an emergency call to get them out of his eyes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they get him out of his eyes? What,
I don't know. I mean,
some tricky about it.
I'm not sure, but maybe the person that put them in wasn't qualified. I'm just saying. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. Maybe they just didn't fit. I hear they were painful.
I'll say, especially when you can't take them off.
Even though it took 3 hours for a doctor to come out on an emergency call to remove them from his eyes, he still wanted to wear them for the character. Like, he wasn't like, we're never doing that again.
Yeah.
He still wanted to wear them. And that's another reason why Vin Diesel is cooler than you.
ELRTVELRXU. That's Vin Diesel reading the eye chart from 40 yards away because his eyesight is that good. Yeah. So he tells Carolyn, the captain, he's like, I didn't kill Zeke. Well, he wasn't in the hole. We checked. Dig deeper, he says. Yes. Because he's a fucking geologist, I guess. He knows. One of the many times he'll have the right answer in this movie for no fucking reason. But when in doubt, just look over at Vin. He's got the answer. So the captain's going to go take his advice and check the hole a little bit deeper, and she gets down in the tunnels and is hearing like little chittering from monsters and stuff and looking around, and she finds a bloody stump of Zeke's foot. And she's like, well, obviously he was down there. But then
Must have tripped over something.
Tripped hard. My goodness. But the monsters are in the shadows, and she quickly tries to flee up, like, they're kind of like lava tubes. They're like...
They are.
Tubular
totally like lava tubes, yeah.
Geologic formations, and she's like scrambling up one, trying to get the fuck out of there as the monsters are coming behind her. And yes, they look a little bit like, what did you call them in your write-up? Pterodactyl, hammerhead sharks.
Hammerhead shark space pterodactyls?
Yeah, 100%. That's what these things look like, with big mouths, no eyes, sharp teeth, long tails that are snapping back and forth, and wings. She's climbing up, and they manage to break open the lava tube on the surface and kind of drag her out of there so she can just barely make her escape. She's seen the monsters there. She knows Riddick didn't kill Zeke. She knows there's something else in the shadows, monsters in the shadows. And then we get Riddick saying, "Finally found something worse than me, huh?"
Yeah.
You know what? Fucking shut up. Mr. Johns decides to deal with the Diesel, and they have a little confrontation where he's like, all right, well, we need you on the planet to help us survive, so I'm going to shoot off your restraints.
Yeah.
Shoots off his restraints. It's a bold move. Unnecessary. You might want to conserve your ammo, considering you don't know where you can get more.
Yeah.
And there's a little dick measuring contest here. Mm-hmm. Johns is like, you remember this moment I saved your life. And then Vin Diesel got to take the gun from him real quick and point it at him. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. I want you to remember this moment. Okay, guys. All right. We'll vote, everybody. It's understood.
We'll all remember the moment.
Remember this moment. Yeah, okay.
We're all
we're walking.
We've all written it down.
Yeah, they're on their way back to the encampment with supplies. Riddick is pack muling it. You know, they got him in like a harness. His like Jean-Claude Van Damme black wife beater A shirt, like flexing muscles in the desert.
Yeah, he's sled dogging it in the desert, dragging their shit. Yeah,
sled dogging it. Yes.
Yeah.
I said pack muling. You are more correct. He is more sled dogging than pack muling.
Have you ever been more sled dogging than pack muling? On occasion. Sure.
That's all I do.
Okay, shut up. All right, we got it.
You can take the dog off the sled, but you can't take it.
Okay, we got it. We all remember the moment. And we're moving.
I'm not packing the mule.
Yeah. And so they're heading back to the colonists' research station, and the group is lamenting that the ship isn't a star jumper. It's just like a little spacecraft they have. And Riddick just says, like, well, take it to the shipping lane and stick out a thumb. He knows the answer. He looked at the AAA triptych before the whole thing started. They were all in cryo sleep. He was just paying attention to all the navigation.
He could hear the shipping lane as they passed through it. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is when the kid will find the clippers to cut their hair so that they can look more like Vin Diesel again, just like thousands of Jersey meatballs after this movie who are like, yeah, that's the fucking guy I want to look like right there. Yeah, he's fucking cool.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's all right. Yo, Vinny! How many times do you think Vin's heard that?
Well, they do discover at this moment the ship needs more batteries. They don't have enough. They're going to have to get more juice, and they're going to have to go back to the crash site to get them. They're all getting settled at this research station. They get the water going. Finally, Thurston Moorcock, Ogilvy the third, gets his drink of water, sort of cuts in line in front of the kids. Real class act, that guy. Yeah. And they start asking questions about, like, well, this is a pretty nice research station. Where do we think the geologists went? Riddick's like, they were all dead. What do you mean?
You think they left all their clothes on the pegs and the pictures on the shelf before they...
I was like, okay, good. You know what? Whenever we got a question, we're just going to...
Thank you, Sherlock.
Look over to you, Riddick. What is it? What do you got?
Yeah.
Because he's like a forensic detective. He's like,
I looked over everything. I think I've drawn a natural conclusion here.
Steven Seagal would have been perfect in this role.
Honestly, like, he would have been snapping the alien's arms off and doing things like that. But in terms of, like, always having the answer, 100%, this could be Steven Seagal. Keith David, the imam. Has anyone seen Ali? The littlest boy? Riddick.
Has anyone checked the coring room?
How do you know this, Riddick? How do you know that that's where the kid is? But that is, in fact, where the kid is. And in the coring room, Ali is getting swarmed by CGI alien bats.
Yeah.
They're just swarming all over the place. He manages to hide in a closet. Uh-oh. By the time the group gets there and blow the lock off, they approach the closet. The bats come screaming out of there, fly down into a hole in the coring room. Coring room, so called because I guess it has a big drill that drilled into there for the geologists, and the bats all swarm down there. And then the Imam Keith David looks in the closet and meow. Meat puppet.
Chewed up meat puppet. Yeah. Love that kind of stuff.
This is gotta be one of the only like extensive practical effects in this movie, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there aren't many for sure.
You can see the skull beneath the chewed up face, and
it's just a fabricated skeleton with a bunch of meat on it and stuff. It's a fun thing to make. For kids.
They check down in the pit and they see lots of bones down there.
They locked themselves in here. Heavy doors, thought they'd be safe inside. Forgot to lock the cellar.
Again, Vin Diesel, forensic investigator. He's got the answer.
I'm piecing it all together now.
Well, let's board it up and get out of here. Yeah.
He's Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Well, whatever these things are, they seem to like darkness, so if we stick to daylight, we should be fine, says Mr. Johns.
I was going to say, is that your Cole Hauser?
Yeah, totally. And that is a perfect example of, like, Vin Diesel has, like, all the right answers, and this guy, like, just dialogue-wise steps in a giant pile of shit, because we'll find that is impossible here, as the solar system model tells him, like, guess what? It's about to get dark for a really long time.
Exactly.
Carolyn's back at the model of that solar system, and they're headed for an eclipse of extreme magnitude.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
Says Vin Diesel, astrophysicist. Now they're trying to figure out, like, how are we going to get off here? We can't use the spaceship because it needs more batteries, so we're going to have to split up. We're going to have to go back to the base camp. And Mr. Johns is like, you can't leave Riddick alone with that spaceship. And they're like, why not? Let me tell you about his last escape. Because it turns out, Vin Diesel, pilot. He's also a pilot. He can do that as well.
That's right, Mr. Seagal. I'm afraid David Toohey doesn't want you to be in the movie. I'm sorry.
Well, Carolyn, the captain, she's not so convinced anymore. She's like, we're not going to double-cross Riddick. He's been good to us so far. Let's just stick to the deal. And we'll cut to Riddick shaving his head with his, like, piece of scrap metal and some motor oil, because he's fucking tough.
Yeah.
While he's shaving his head, he sees Mr. Johns come out and just, like, stumble a little bit, and then he throws up. And Vin Diesel quickly figures out, like,
Mr. Johns is a junkie going through some withdrawals.
Because Vin Diesel, social worker, rehab counselor, recognizes all the signs right away.
Yes. So good.
Cut back to Carolyn. She's on the ship. She's running tests, and Vin Diesel is there, recognizes that they're shy a few power cells because Vin Diesel electrician, which leads Vin Diesel mentalist to conclude that Johns told Carolyn that he's a pilot. And what follows is a fucking very odd scene when he confronts Carolyn on the ship and gets all close and cringy.
He does get really close, doesn't he?
Yeah. You didn't think anyone leave me behind?
Like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but much to the thrill of Jersey meatballs everywhere, who would use this tactic at many a last call, I think. Yeah. I mean, he is an anti-hero, right? Because they set up that he is this bad guy, although he never really acts without honor or in a bad way. And he does smell her hair, which is creepy. And then you got this, which is also cringy.
Sure.
It's a part that has not really aged well, I think, in these days.
Some movies have not aged too well.
But while he's doing that, he lets Carolyn know that John's in the cop. He's a bounty hunter. Like, how the tables are turning now.
Who we thought was a friend is an enemy, and who was once an enemy is now a friend. The world is pitch black, just sending us into spirals. We don't know who to believe now.
You know, I watched this with Sister Caitlin. And
Oh, yeah.
And she was chuckling at Vin Diesel. And she said, you know what his favorite restaurant is? And I looked at her, I'm like, huh? And she goes, Olive Garden. Because when you're here, you're family.
Oh, God.
I said, that's good. I'm going to steal
very
that.
Good. That is very good. Well, he's trying to get her to go to Olive Garden with a maybe in this scene. But she's like, don't waste my time. Let's get down to business. Leave me alone.
I don't care about the breadsticks.
And then he says,
once the dying starts, this little family of ours is going to rip itself apart.
Because Vin Diesel, family counselor, knows what's happening.
He is a family counselor. I mean, you can't deny that if you look at his canon of work.
And now we get the eclipse starting. And like I said, I do love this image. I do love the design of this planet as we see the sort of ringed planet coming over the horizon and blocking, and the sun sort of dipping behind it. It's very cool. But they got to get back to that crash site to get those extra batteries so that then they come back here to the research station and get the spaceship.
It's a good thing the batteries are universal for spaceships throughout the universe.
Sure. No, standardized parts is part of the Industrial Trade Act of 2737. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
It's in a note somewhere.
No, actually, I only know that because Vin Diesel mentioned it in a deleted scene because Vin Diesel, legal scholar, is also in this. They get to the crash site, everybody splits up, they grab the power cells, the sun is going down, and I think you even get some of that. It's just that ratcheting bongo drum tension happening. Yeah. Can they get all this stuff and get back to the research station in time? Well, the answer is no. They're there. They finally get the batteries. They're getting them back. And Vin Diesel watches the sun go down on the horizon and everything getting dark. And you see it through, you get like Diesel vision a few times in this movie where you see through Vin's POV, Riddick's POV.
Another reason why we paired these movies together.
He says, beautiful.
And I wrote, fuck you, it sucks. This is a moment you have to, I mean, like, as a character, you have to know shit's gonna get a lot more difficult. But, like, he's too cool of a character to recognize the reality of the situation. The script
we gotta go!
Yeah, if he had said, get the fucking lead out, like,
this dog ain't gonna sled himself. Get those batteries on there.
Like, I'd be like, cool, you understand the urgency of this. But he's just like, beautiful. Yeah. Only someone with the conviction of total and complete plot armor says that. There is no way that a character who has any stake in their own mortality or any truth says that unless the script says that they ride off into the sunset. It's like such thin writing to me.
Yeah. Well, the original script for this movie was a little bit different. It was originally called Nightfall. It was written by Jim and Ken Wheat, and it was about a spaceship that crash lands on a planet, and they find out that when the sun goes down, ghosts come out and kill everybody.
Ghosts, huh? Oh,
ghosts!
That's weird. Yeah. No, I don't like that as much.
It's weird, and David Toohey was brought along. They said, well, if you can fix this script, we'll let you direct it. So that's kind of how that gig came about in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like ghosts as much as these monsters that come out when the sun goes down. And also because they will find out that these monsters are like photosensitive, like light actually hurts them. So they can shine a flashlight on them and it sort of burns the skin of these creatures, which I think
do they live on the wrong planet.
Yes.
For 22 years, you can't go outside.
Well, it is interesting, and this is something that we can talk about in Predator Badlands in a way that these movies are wildly different, is that there's a lot of stuff in Predator Badlands where I feel like the ecology was really thought out. Like how these plants and animals are going to survive on this planet in this situation. Because you would think in Pitch Black, like, there would be something that survives in the daylight as well, something that has adapted, evolved to survive in the daylight.
There doesn't seem to be any.
No, there's nothing. I guess it's the conceit is that these monsters killed everything.
Yeah.
You see the bones of some big animals that were out there, but it's not nearly as fleshed out a world as I think you get in Predator Badlands. They just seem to spend a lot more time thinking about that sort of thing, about the setting, about the environment. Pitch Black just has kind of a cool conceit. Sun goes down, monsters come out, everything dies.
Yeah. Exactly. That sounds like the pitch.
Yep. Pitch Black.
Yeah.
Well, Claudia Black,
For Black.
Shaza, she's about to get eviscerated by a bunch of bats. They're like the bat monsters. I don't know if they're just smaller
versions of them. Yeah.
Yeah. They take her out. They rip her in half. They use the swarm to kind of mask the digital effects, but essentially pull her into two pieces.
Yeah.
I do think, now that the shift has gone to darkness in this movie, this is a movie that is much better in a theater, or if you've got the means to have
a dark room
in your house with a big screen and a dark room.
Yeah.
Because of the different things that they do with light in this movie, I think it is one that really is sort of much
suffers on the home video market, 100%.
Yeah. You don't really get so much what the creative team was trying to accomplish in this.
Yep.
But now that it's dark, our survivors, they've got acetylene torches, and they're not Molotov cocktails, but like they've got other sorts of torches and flames and stuff. And yeah, I do remember the first time I saw this movie thinking like, you guys should make a much bigger fire, or have means to create a big fire in an emergency if you need to. Because you got plenty of wreckage back there. You would think there's plenty of flammable shit in the 10-mile trench of debris that the ship left.
Yeah.
But no, they're kind of resigned to being in the dark here. As they're traveling in the dark, Riddick sees one of the aliens feasting on something. I don't know if it's the remains of Claudia Black's character or feasting on another one of the alien monsters. Now, we will get some more like Predator vision in this. We get it, we get it from Riddick. We also get it from the creatures, and they seem to be using some sort of like echolocation to track their prey.
I do love the head-to-head face-off, Vin Diesel and the creature. Oh man, that is so mint.
You mean Vin Diesel zoologist?
Yes.
Because he realizes that they have a blind spot by looking at their skeleton, and he's like, I understand exactly how this alien's biology works.
Yeah.
And then they have a head-to-head where he's just sort of like weaving with it right in its blind spot.
So that it can't see him. Yeah, that's pretty perfect. I love that.
Yeah, they will have a couple of close calls. People start dying, and all the Imam's sons start dying at this point. Claudia Black is dead. This is also the point in the movie where they realize, like, if they shine a flashlight on the thing, it burns their skin, which is pretty cool.
Sure.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
They've got their lights and their flashlights. And they just realize, like, at this point, they're kind of trapped. They gotta get back to the research station with the ship with these cells, and there's nothing they can do but make a run for it. And they travel through the dark, hauling the power cells, and they have, like, raver glow sticks. They've got a lot of, like...
Yeah.
Like, we just took ecstasy, and we're about to have a really good time, sort of bracelets and necklaces on. Yeah.
And I never buy that either. I'm never like, oh, this is enough to keep the creatures away. No, I don't think that it is. It's not even enough to barely light your face. Come on.
No. Yeah. And the whole conceit here is like, can they make it back to the ship while they still have their lights? And they slowly start going out. And Mr. Dandy, Paris, at some point, he drops a bottle of fine scotch or something.
And then goes after it.
Gets a little spooked, and he goes after it, and he ends up unplugging everyone's electric lights. He gets tangled in something.
Yeah.
Dipshit move of the movie, probably this guy right here.
Yeah.
As the lights go out.
You just knew his character was around for a dipshit moment.
Sure.
You know?
Well, again,
he's the one that's going to fuck everybody over somehow.
He's on the short list of people you don't want to be on the desert island with. No way is this guy going to help you out. But there is a neat little moment when he's in the dark and he has that bottle and he takes a swig out of it, and he just like breathes fire, like spits it out, and you
that was
see
great.
all the monsters around him.
Yeah.
Oh no! Before they
that honestly is the best shot in the movie. That's
it's
the best
pretty
shot
fucking
in the movie.
cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking cool. And Riddick just watches them feast.
Yeah.
And I guess takes notes because he's going to know all about their physiology and mating habits.
That's right.
They got torches in hand. I don't know if they ever get their electric lights back on at this point, but they kind of have taken stock, taken a breather. They've got lights surrounding them. And Vin Diesel says something like, "They can smell blood." I don't know. He had a good look at their nose. He understands that they...
he saw the olfactory senses, how they worked with the skeleton.
Yeah.
She's cut.
What the hell are you talking about?
Not her. Her.
And he points at Jack, the kid, who...
Reveal she's a female, and that's why she's on a menstruation cycle, and blah, blah.
What? No.
Yes. Mark Wahlberg. She is, in fact, a girl. We all knew this. We didn't all know this? I guess we didn't all know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he knows that she's having her cycle because Vin Diesel gynecologist. He
could smell it.
Yeah.
In case you haven't noticed, they go off blood.
Yeah,
I guess I hadn't noticed, but...
At one point, would we have noticed this?
Vin Diesel hematologist will tell you all about
it. I gotta say, I like this movie more now that you're talking about it.
A long conversation in the dark here, and this is when Johns reveals that Carolyn, the captain, almost jettisoned everyone as they were crash landing on the planet.
Good time for a moment of truth.
I don't know why you told them that in the first place, but here it comes biting you in the ass. Yeah. And I think Riddick says something like, "I'm starting to like you even more." Like, why? But, okay. Johns and Riddick lead the party. They've got some green flares now. Now we've got a whole different light filter on there as we get green flares.
Yeah.
And as they're ahead of the group, Johns is kind of conspiring with Riddick. Like, you do the girl, I'll keep the others off your back. And this does not sit well with our homicidal felon, I guess. Vin Diesel they've been saying he's a bad guy this whole movie. I argue he doesn't ever once act like a bad guy in this movie. He always seems to be a man of honor.
In fact, now he is absolutely a man of honor, and it's all about family.
That's right, and it's Riddick versus Rip. Here we go.
Round one. Ding!
It could have been a cool fight, but it's a lot of quick cuts. Not spending their money on like stunt work or anything like that. Quick cuts, we get a dislocated elbow, which Riddick just sort of snaps back into place. And then quickly turns into a knife fight. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
The only rule is you gotta stay in the light.
Yeah.
John's cut in the back. Stumbles close to the perimeter. And then alien tail spears him through the back. Yeah. And it's one of the few moments you see in the movie where an alien actually does something. Bites his head off.
Chomps the head off. Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. And, that character deserved a good death, and they gave it to him. So Riddick catches up with the rest of them. Let's get to the ship.
Let's get to the chopper.
And this is when he notices the blind spot on the alien skeleton. And I was like, okay, whatever, man.
All right, zoologist.
Aliens abound. Lights are fading. Run! Vin Diesel is dragging the power cells. Dog sled, running through the canyon as monsters kill each other above them. Carnage everywhere through the boneyard. Kid gets in trouble, and Riddick closes in with some quick slashes.
Did not know who he was fucking with,
I think is what he says.
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that.
That's the Oscar clip. Like when he got nominated for this later in the year. I think that's the one they played at the Academy Awards.
That nomination may have gotten passed over.
Every time you watch that scene, a teenager in Staten Island gets pregnant. Just know that as you experience Pitch Black going forward.
Yo, Marie, get in the fucking car.
And then it starts raining, and Vin Diesel laughs. Because fucking plot armor. Doesn't matter if things are getting shittier. He's just loving it.
Yeah.
The Imam's last son gets dragged off into the darkness. The survivors hide in a bone shelter as Riddick continues to sled the power cells to the encampment. He's going to get the ship started. He's going to come back, but he's not coming back. There's a little discussion between the whole group.
Yep.
And this is when they find the luminescent larvae clinging to the cave wall.
Yeah.
And they fill their bottles.
Which they can fill the bottles with. Yeah.
Light. I thought that was a cool detail.
Sure.
That was neat.
Yeah.
Riddick on the ship, puts the batteries in, flips some switches.
Getting ready to bolt.
Yep, getting in there. Looks like he's heading off-world, and then Captain Carolyn makes it to him before he leaves. I promised them I would go back for them with more light. Please come with me. And Riddick, is he a bad boy? Gives her the chance to just leave.
He's just testing her to see what she's made of. Is she breeding material?
Oh my God. He's already sniffed her hair, so he's already done Riddick courting ritual number 1.
Yeah.
Then he invaded her personal space without consent. Number 2.
Number 3 is test of her psyche to see if she could be a vicious killer, in which case, baby, it's on.
You would die for them?
Yes, I would.
How interesting.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Like family.
Cut to the rescue. Riddick Vision reveals the aliens. Riddick Vision has like a purple filter to it when you see through Vin Diesel's POV.
Yeah.
And they're rescuing everyone, trying to get them to the ship. And in the encampment, as it's raining now, they're kind of sloshing around in the mud a little bit. And aliens are everywhere. And Riddick gets cut off from the Allies as they all head to the spacecraft. And this is when you get what you talked about, the square off.
Yeah.
He gets right up in its face.
Yeah, a little do-si-do, a little back and forth.
Yeah, fucking sort of like snake charming. Yeah, totally. Predator Vision doesn't see him until another one appears behind him. Stuck in between him.
Stuck in the middle with you.
And the survivors are at the ship. Should we just go? No, Carolyn. She's atoned. This character arc is coming to completion. She's not just going to leave him behind.
Hello, hero's journey. Thank you so much.
Heads back, finds a bloody Riddick, and as she's helping him to the ship, she is stuck and dragged into the darkness by a flying alien.
Yeah.
Not for me! Not for me!
Because Riddick can't handle that she would have come back and died because of him.
Yeah.
So there is, beneath that tough exterior, there's a heart of gold with this Riddick.
Hell yeah. Well, originally it would have been him that died and her that got away. But test audiences went, Riddick is the coolest character. He's the reason to see this movie. He should not die in the end. That's when we got them changing the end of the movie. And then also him narrating at the beginning to let you know that he's going to live.
The test audiences were right. He is the coolest
100%
reason to see this movie.
Yeah.
And he gets back to the ship with the kid and Imam, and they head off world, but not yet. Looks like Riddick's powering down the ship. What's going on? The aliens are all swarming around.
We can't leave without saying goodnight.
And he flips on all the switches and starts the engines and just burns all the aliens. And the spaceship launches into space. Roll credits. Pitch black.
Yeah, he killed like a dozen of them there. There's thousands on the planet, but he killed like a dozen of them.
Yeah, he's got to give one final fuck you.
Yeah.
Tell your sister I said hello.
So that's Pitch Black. I saw that in the theater, and I got to tell you, I really loved it the first time I saw it in the theater. I was like, this movie is fucking great.
Yeah, so did I.
It had been 20 years since I'd seen it.
Last time I saw it was when they released the unrated cut, because I wanted to see what was different. And there's not a ton different. It was just a couple of minutes. It's some character stuff and maybe a tiny bit of violence, but it's mostly just character stuff. So one of those times where they disguise an unrated cut as we just had these other 8 minutes.
Sure, we had a couple extra scenes and stuff like that. The scene where Vin Diesel makes rocket fuel in the research station lab because Vin Diesel, rocket scientist. They're like, no, that's too far. How would he know that? How would he know that?
I've been crushing these rocks all day into a fine powder. If you ignite it.
Yeah.
That ain't how you synthesize nitrates, you motherfucker.
Okay.
When you're in the slam, you got a lot of time to read up on stuff.
In the slam. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that's what they called it, was the slam. Multiple times.
Yeah. Taking an off-world route to the nearest slam. Okay.
I'm glad they still call it that.
I'm glad they still have cool cigarettes and that they're as valuable as they are in the slam.
Absolutely.
He got surgery done for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
That doctor was desperate for a smoke.
Loved cigarettes.
Can't beat that cool taste.
Ah, yes. Of course I will turn your eyes into chrome orbs.
Newports? I specifically requested cools.
I'll do nothing for Virginia Slims.
I mean, I know I ragged on this movie an awful lot, but there are good things about it. I love the photosensitive monsters.
Sure.
I mean, I love that idea. I love the central conceit, the day-night conceit of this. Vin Diesel undeniably has charisma.
Yeah.
He can carry a film. He certainly carries this one. And, you know, this was the first thing I ever saw him in.
He's a fun character actor, and the character is always him.
Sure, but not everybody can pull that off. You know, there are actors and there are movie stars. There are people that will change who they are or, you know, put on a character to be in a film. And then there are people who are essentially just themselves in different situations, you know, the more movie star route. But you still have to have charisma in order to be able to pull that off. You have to be watchable in order to pull that off, in order to be believable that way. He certainly brings it in this one. I just find the script to be so stupid in terms of its dialogue and some of the stakes that I just want to tear into it.
Well, what would we rate this movie with?
Batteries, power cells.
Sure. Let's go power cells.
So how many power cells would you give Pitch Black?
Well, although this movie is full diesel, it does only give me a semi.
Well done. Well done.
I'm going to say 6.5 power cells. Normally, I would give this a 6 or a 5.5 because you're right. It's not that great of a movie, but I'm going to give it at least 0.5. So let's say I rated it a 6. I'm giving it a 0.5 for starting a franchise and becoming better films in the future, and also for kicking off Vin Diesel's career.
Okay.
6.5 power cells.
5 power cells.
Yeah.
I am only going to give this one 5.5 power cells.
Not terrible. Not terrible.
Look, it's a movie. It's a sci-fi action movie, and it is more good than bad. The filters and the lighting and the bleaching process that they used in the negatives, it does make, at times, a very cool-looking movie.
Sure.
But a lot of times, if you look just behind the cool, there's not a lot of there. I don't necessarily love the script or the direction in this. So yeah, it's only 5.5 from me.
It's a cool idea, not done great, suffered from being a very hard production to shoot.
Yeah. But we've been talking about Pitch Black. Should we fade to black for a second, head to the lobby, and then come back and we can talk about Predator Badlands?
Sounds good.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
He is the Predator. Here comes the Predator. Dun, 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 dun.
We'll see you in just a few minutes over here.
Nice.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the Viva to get ourselves a treat. Delicious things to eat. The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy stores. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And
we're back. Oh, Predator. They made another one of these. And for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, we always do a spoiler-free version of the newer movie. So we'll take 10 to 15 minutes, talk about this movie with no spoilers, give our review, then we'll head to the lobby one more time so we can come back and ruin the whole damn thing.
Exactly. So yeah, Predator Badlands.
They made another one.
Another
Predator movie. How many is this now?
9.
Boy, 9. Hot dog.
All the way back to, what was it, 87?
Something like that. With the original Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator.
Yeah. What's the matter? CIA got you pushing too many pencils.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't like the original Predator,
we
can't be friends. We can't be friends.
Yeah.
That movie is awesome.
It is.
And it's not awesome in the same sort of flawless way that Alien is, the original Alien, right?
It is not a flawless movie. In fact, I have gone through and rated all the Predator movies.
Well, let's do that after we talk about this one and rate it. Because I don't want you to tell me where this one fits on the scale. I know specifically where it fits for me on the Predator scale of all 9 movies. Although I've only seen 7 of the 9 movies, I have to admit.
Well, which 2 have you not seen?
I've not seen The Predator, and I've not seen the anime one, The Killer of Killers. I've not seen that one, which is pretty new, I think.
You know what? For God's sakes, come up with a better title for these movies. Predator, Predator 2, Predators, The Predator.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's, Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Requiem is just, it's a disaster. Everything is moving too fast. It's got a cool idea. But you know what? That's another story. Let's talk a little bit more about this movie. I saw this movie. I was on a little mini vacation. I went to go see my father in Michigan, and my sister Caitlin met there, and our other brother Rory was there. And we all sort of got a house on the St. Clair River and hung out, for a couple of days, watched some Netflix, made some prime rib, and had a good time. And we were like, hey, let's go to the movies. Because one of the things I remember in my childhood, hanging out with my dad, is going to the movies with him, getting a Coney Island, and then going to the bookstore. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Let's make it happen. So we did. We went to a movie theater. Or we went to a Coney Island next to a movie theater.
And for all of you non-Michigander, non-Detroit folks, when he says Coney Island, he's talking about a hot dog restaurant.
Yes.
Coney Island, a Coney dog is like a very Michigan thing for a hot dog. Yeah.
Well, this was my thing. I wanted Nostalgia Day. I wanted to go see a movie with my father and the rest of my siblings. Obviously, you weren't there because we have different fathers and, Mom, of course.
Sure, setting up franchises.
Yeah. And I was like, let's recapture some of that youth. Let's go check it out. So I did the Coney. After the Coney, there was a comic book store. I was like, well, let's go there. I mean, that's, comics is like a bookstore. There wasn't a bookstore nearby because there are hardly any fucking bookstores anymore.
Yeah, right.
But I went to see if they had any old copies of Heavy Metal. Which I love, which is a fantastic magazine.
Good quest. That's a good quest to go into a comic book shop and look at their back stacks and see if there's old heavy metals. Oh, fuck yeah.
Sadly, they didn't have any. But then we went to the movie and, got a bunch of popcorn, sat down to enjoy this theatrical experience of the new Predator movie. Well, so I went into it with a good it's going to be great.
Well, I have a little something I wrote up about this one.
Oh, okay.
And
I mean, obviously, I know that you did something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, I just recently had to update a casting website for my agents where I had to upload reels and audio clips and my resume and pictures and yada yada yada. But I came across an old voiceover that I did for a pharmaceutical ad, and that was in my head when I wrote this up. So That's the feeling that I'm getting here. Now, Predator has, through a couple of movies and other things, they've married the universes with the Alien universe.
Sure, Weyland-Yutani.
So there was some corporate crossover here, and, Big Pharma is certainly a corporate entity that we have to deal with. So,
all right, I'm interested to see what you did.
In that regard, here we go. Predator Badlands. If you're feeling tired, worn out, and annoyed by Hollywood blockbusters that reheat intellectual properties time and time again for quick dollars, you may be suffering from angry sequel syndrome, or ASS. ASS occurs when producers feel an uncontrollable urge to ring a bell over and over, to squeeze every bit of creativity, artistry, and joy out of a beloved and proven movie franchise. Nearly 1 in 3 people suffer from some form of ASS. It is a common condition with many similarities to reboot-itis, and, if untreated, can spread to nearly every franchise with no respect to style or genre, but is more likely to occur in films with guns, capes, masks, lasers, and/or spaceships. But now, there's help. Thanks to Trachtenberg Labs, Predator Badlands has been developed. Predator Badlands fights against angry sequel syndrome by targeting common ideas within the franchise and reattuning them towards a different perspective. By reversing the protagonist-antagonist polarity, Predator Badlands allows for a focus on interesting lore, relationships, and cultural revelations. When combined with a brutal and dangerous alien landscape, Predator Badlands effectively freshens up its material at the source and moves from ass to lips with licensed intelligent production syndrome. Some temporary overuse of CGI has been reported with Predator Badlands. Viewers may also experience other negative side effects, including quirky dialogue, jarringly cutesy moments, and blatant fan service. Easter eggs have also been reported from a small percentage of viewers. Thanks to Trachtenberg, your days of Predator ass may be behind you for good. So tell me, Dr. McCarty, is Predator Badlands right for our listeners? And can it take you on the journey from ass to mouth or lips?
Excellent. Well done. So again, I saw this with my father, who is 81.
Okay.
And my sister and my other brother, and I'm above them in age, at least. So we had different generations that were sitting down to watch this movie.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, this will be interesting to see what everyone thinks of it. I didn't like it.
Oh.
Everybody else did.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's wrong with me? I just felt it fell flat.
Short for you.
Yeah. It's not terrible. It's not the worst Predator movie.
Oh, not by a long shot, I don't think.
It just didn't sit well with me. I like my Predator to be an antagonist. I don't like the design of the Predator. I think that the fact that they gave it a human quality really sort of ruins the creature for me.
Interesting.
Because he just looks like he has close-set eyes, and he just looks silly. And it's because
I did not think that when I watched the movie. But now that you've said that, it's going to be impossible to ignore the closeness of his eyes. You're right.
This face is digital, okay? It's a suit with a digital face. Yeah, they had a static character mask that would go over for certain scenes, but for the most part, the face is CGI.
Yep.
Done by Weta. Done very well. Done extremely well.
I think so.
It's not jarring. To me, the jarring thing doesn't it look like the Predator? You know, you look at like the Predator in Predator or Predator 2, those are like mechanical masks with the pinchers moving and the eyes even. And that, to me, is what the Predator looks like. It's a bigger head. It's a meaner character. Sure, this one is supposed to be a runt.
He's supposed to be smaller. He's supposed to be the runty one, yeah.
I get that, but I didn't like the look of the character.
Well, I mean, you said it earlier is that you like the Predator to be the antagonist. And that is the biggest way that Dan Trachtenberg, the director of this, flipped the script, right? He made a Predator movie, now the 9th one. I don't know about Killer of Killers, but he made the Predator essentially the person you were rooting for in this movie. Every other one, there's been a human or there's been somebody else that you are trying to root for to get away from this Predator, right? And that's the biggest change to this one.
Yeah.
This movie has like a 83 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and like a 95 audience score.
Everybody loves it.
I have to say, I was aware of the hype. I do not love it as much as those scores indicate. I do think this movie has some problems. Now, I don't mind that they switched the antagonist-protagonist thing on this one. Mm-hmm. They're taking a different spin on it. And I know in order to achieve that, besides just the writing, like, there's no human characters in this.
Yeah.
Right? There are synth characters from the alien world, the Weyland-Yutani sort of android robots. But Trachtenberg didn't want to put any humans in it because he said, as soon as I put a human in this movie, that's the one that everyone is going to start gravitating towards. They're going to start rooting for the human.
Absolutely. And if a human dies, it's going to be R-rated instead of PG-13. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When we came out of the movie, Rory, my older brother, said, essentially, this is a movie about a predator that's terrible at being a predator. And I was like, that's true. He's not a very good predator. And then he sort of turns things around. In the end, with family.
Yes, it's true. Mm-hmm. The conceit of this movie is that the young predator is trying to prove himself on an alien world full of hostile creatures where everything is trying to kill you.
He should have just came here again.
He needed to go big. He needed to go big on this one to prove himself as the smallest member of the clan, the runtiest one. Mm-hmm. He sort of thinks like, if I can get the biggest, meanest thing, then everyone will respect me.
Yeah.
Yes, in a way, he is terrible at being a predator, or at least shifts the, let's call them traditional predator values. Towards a different sort of perspective. Well, but that's more that character's individual journey. I also had problems sometimes with some of the action. And it's a problem I have in a lot of movies when they really want to go kind of big or they really want to go crazy. It gets a little too digitized for me.
It's too Marvel mania.
A little bit.
You don't have any tie to gravity or any worry that the character is going to slip on that tree.
When he's jumping from tree to tree to tree to tree.
It's just a bunch of CGI nonsense.
I don't like that
there's
stuff.
a lot of stunt guy in a wire rig and things like that. So there are a lot of practical elements, but the creatures are all too big and too wahoo and too crazy, and none of it feels threatening in any way because I know it's just a bunch of computer crap.
Yeah. There's like that moment in Lord of the Rings, remember when Legolas takes down the elephant and he ends up like sliding down its trunk? Yeah. And it's always a moment in that movie where I go, I didn't really need that touch on it.
Exactly.
This movie gives you that touch like a number of times, I feel, and I'm like,
totally.
You could have found a way to tell the story that was maybe less and would have been more effective.
Sure.
Because we were talking about Pitch Black, too, and I was criticizing Pitch Black for, like, some of the hand-to-hand sequences. It's all just quick cuts and stuff. This one, when they get into some of the hand-to-hand stuff, I think it looks cool. It looks good. So there's good stunt work happening in this movie.
Opening fight sequence, pretty great.
So I know, you can tell the story in that sort of more contained way, and they've got the skills to make those beats land. It's whenever they relied on things getting like a little bit too big, a little bit too out of control, where it became completely sort of digital, that it loses me. And I said also there's some chipper dialogue, like the central relationship, this is in the trailers, so it's not spoiling anything, is between our predator, whose name is Deck, and a Weyland-Yutani synth who has been cut from below the waist, played by Elle Fanning.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Elle Fanning, actually. I really love that show, The Great, that she was on, where she played Catherine the Great. I thought that show was fucking awesome. She's great in that. And he carries her around kind of like Chewbacca carries C-3PO.
I wrote that down.
Yeah. They very specifically used that as a reference. Dan Trachtenberg was like, that's what I wanted. I was going for that.
Yeah.
And she talks to him, and sometimes, like,
she's
a very sort of bubbly character whose quirky dialogue, sometimes I was like, it didn't always sit well with me in this movie.
No, me either.
And there are some other things where I was like, this moment seems a little cutesy for a Predator movie.
Yeah, 100%. This is a kid-friendly Predator movie. That's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah, Trachtenberg also did Prey,
which I think is great.
I loved Prey. Yeah. I absolutely loved it. In fact, the thing about Prey is I didn't see it coming. When I started that movie, I was like, okay, whatever, it's another Predator movie. And then as that one unfolded, I absolutely loved it. I kept telling everybody, you got to check this movie out. Prey is securely in my number 2 slot in terms of all the Predator movies.
Me too. Me too.
The OG Predator is hands down number 1. Prey for me is hands down number 2.
Yep.
I put this one at number 3. Because I don't really like the other ones. There's elements about the other ones that I do like.
Well, you should see the animated one, Killer of Killers, because that's my number 3.
Oh, really?
That's a 7.5 in my book.
Oh, okay.
Predator 2 comes in at number 4.
Okay.
Danny Glover, getting too old for this shit.
I liked about Predator 2 is it expanded on the Predator's arsenal in some ways. I think Predator 2 is the first time you get that glaive. And I mean glaive like in the Krull sci-fi way with a spinning disc, not the polearm glaive.
Yeah.
But I think the glaive cutting through sides of beef, right?
After
he throws
and
it.
Through
Gary
what's
Busey.
His name? Gary Busey, who in the movie The Predator, his son plays the son of Gary Busey's character from the second movie.
Oh, really?
But anyway.
Interesting.
So Predator 2, number 4, with a 7. Number 5, I call Predators. That's the one that I worked on at KMB. That's the Robert Rodriguez directed one. That's still only a 6.5.
That's the one. It's got Adrian Brody and
Adrian Brody, tough guy. Adrian Brody. I'm a tough guy. I don't know if you know him. I can play a piano too. Then The Predator comes in at number 6.
Oh wow!
This is Shane Black, who's in Predator as one of the characters. Writer-director Shane Black.
Yeah.
He's done some good movies. He's done some fun movies, some quirky movies.
This is The Predator?
The Predator.
Okay.
Yeah. It's too goofy. It's not good. Yeah. It's a fucking 6. Right?
And you got the Dateline specials To Catch a Predator, which are coming in at number 7.
Yeah. No, number 7, Predator Badlands.
Okay. It's number 7 for you. So it's
5.5.
It's just above the Alien versus Predator movies for you then. Everything else, like those are the last 2 on that list.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's not like I got anything against Dan Trachtenberg and what he's done, because those other 2 movies were fucking great. To me, this feels like Disney went, hey, we need to appeal to a larger audience. You've done your R-rated movie. You've done your animated movie, which is extremely violent. We need to appeal to a larger audience. Mm-hmm. We need that Disney fanfare. We need to mix up Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy and all these other things. And I'll point them out when we get to them. You've probably even noticed it yourself when we were watching it. But to me, it feels like that movie was just like, well, let's mix in some of this and let's mix in some of that. And that and the look of the Predator not looking menacing, just looking kind of weird. And
well, they've always looked a little weird, I have to say.
Sure.
He's always been one ugly son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Even when the original one, he takes it off and the mandibles come out and everything. It's a unique character design.
But the one thing I will say, your mileage may vary. I don't like it for these reasons, but everyone else seems to like it. So I must be wrong.
Well, so you give it 5.5. What do we want to rate this one with?
Weyland-Yutani something or others.
Weyland-Yutani synths. Because we could easily go to the half ratings on that one.
Sure. Yeah. Did we do synths on the Alien one?
No, I don't think so. We did face huggers and chest bursters, I think, when we talked about Alien.
Okay. How many synths, including a half?
I give this one 7.5.
Okay.
Weyland-Yutani synths. I think this movie is good. I did enjoy it, obviously, more than you. It's not exactly what you want. It doesn't get into that upper tier, which for me is 8, 9, 10, obviously. But there's enough good stuff in this one that I really enjoyed the ride. I didn't necessarily identify it as particularly Disney-fied, although there's no humans in it, and that instantly takes the violence down a peg because although things get their arms cut off or monsters get sliced open and things like that, it is...
Nothing bleeds blood. It's all colored monster blood or, you know, the white's bad milk. Bad milk blood robot.
Bad milk blood robots.
Yeah.
And the violence is never particularly disturbing, I don't think, in this stuff.
It's done comically. There's too much cutesy stuff in this movie.
Well, that is one of the reasons I put it on there, as I do think like there's times where this movie gets too cutesy, but I do like how he flipped the script. I do like seeing it from the other perspective. I do like that particular character's arc. You know, that character's arc is non-traditional for a Yautja, which is the name of the species that the predators come from. Yeah. And I sort of
It's also the sound I make when I grab a hot pan.
Yautja! So I did dig that about this movie, and I do think the use of the synth in that relationship is pretty clever. In terms of the writing, I think they made some good choices in terms of how that dialogue comes around and the synth's whole purpose, and that allows you to plug into some of the lore. I do think they considered the planet that they crash on. It's a little crazy, or it's more than a little crazy.
Yeah.
But comparing it to Pitch Black, where I think that whole thing was just an idea, it's like, sun goes down, monsters come out. This one had a lot more forethought into the ecology and how these things are relating with each other. I do like seeing the Weyland-Yutani synths and Mother, although Mother got some upgrades in this movie.
Like 60,000 of them. I think it was like Mother's 602957 or something like that.
Well, we've danced around it enough. Let's head to the lobby in a second, and we can come back and spoil the whole damn thing. But you want to tell them where they can find us first?
Yeah. You want to learn more about us? You want to get behind the scenes? You want things we've cut out of the show? Things we've done specifically for our fans? Become a Patreon member.
Get thee to the Patreon.
Yeah, get thee to the Patreon. It is patreon.com. We are the whole damn thing at patreon.com. Lots of levels you can join at. All of them get you some great goodies. And also you get access to our Discord, where we've got a good community of people chatting and making fun of stuff. And we do live watch-alongs of things in Discord, too. So by all means, if you enjoy the show, you got to go in a little deeper, as they say.
Do they say that?
They do. I think that's the thing.
We say that?
Sure. You gotta go a little deeper. You like the show?
Wow.
Listen.
Join at our 3 Knuckles level, and you'll get a live watch-along at your house.
Along with a bottle of wine.
At the very base, it's an ad-free show, and it just gets better and better and better from there. So,
find us on the Instagram. Find us on Threads. Find us on Facebook. Send us an email. thewholedamnthing13@gmail.com.
But now, let's head into the lobby, and we'll come back and we'll spoil the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Here's a food delicacy you'll surely enjoy. It's new. It's different. Hot Italian meatball sandwich. Just like Mama made. You'll find them freshly made in a crisp Italian roll at our refreshment stand.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yautja are prey to none, friend to none.
We're getting some subtitles here that are just telling us what these alien species are all about, just in case you might have stumbled into this movie having never seen a Predator movie. Well, like you said, it's PG-13, so this could be a lot of kids' first Predator movie.
And it will be. And it's fine. And they're going to have this Predator in their head when they see the Predator. And when they see other Predators, they're going to be like, that's not the Predator. The Predator has close-set eyes like a human. The Predator has an expressive form.
This opening takes place on Yautja Prime, the alien homeworld of the Predators.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about it starts out just like Prey in some ways, right?
Yeah, Prey opens up or has a scene in the beginning where you see a bug gets eaten by a mouse, and then the mouse gets eaten by a snake, and then the snake gets killed by the Predator.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is how nature works. And then this one opens with a bug getting eaten by a scorpion with 2 tails on Yautja Prime. And then the ship comes blasting over and kills the scorpion in its wake. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's just like the other one.
This ship is a little bit like a speeder bike, I think. Like it's kind of a small, compact, close to the ground, going across the landscape of Yautja Prime like a cracked desert. Our hero, Deck, gets off of it. I think they're wearing a mask still at this point, so there's nothing for you to complain about yet. Then he's like at some mountains and he uses like a laser zip line to zip up into a mountain cave where he says, you know, they're talking in Yautja-ese.
Yeah, Yautjese. Bowser, I believe, spoke that.
It's a real language that they developed for this movie.
Yowza, yowza.
Because this movie does have more Yautja than any other Predator movie.
Yep.
So they had a guy who was recommended to them, and he created a whole language.
The guy that came up with the Navi language.
I don't think it is the guy that did Avatar, actually. I think it was like his protege or recommended by that dude.
Okay.
I think they went to that guy, whose name escapes me, and he was like, I'm busy, but I do have somebody that is... So
I was just thinking of the papyrus spot.
On SNL? Yeah. That sketch is brilliant because that's the kind of shit that most people don't fucking think about ever at all. And it is 100% truthful.
Yeah,
somebody in the industry
was like, look up the papyrus font sketch.
Yeah, with Ryan Gosling on SNL.
It's fantastic.
Years ago. Good stuff. Well, Deck is in this cavern. I sense you, brother. Something's going on. And then it's 2 predators engaged in mortal combat.
Yes. It's a great opening scene.
Swords and blades and good hand-to-hand combat. Gets a little jumpy. Like, there's some definite CGI elements in there. And
not as jumpy as later sequences, but
not as jumpy as later sequences, but it is informed by our Marvel movie attention spans these days, where like things have to do incredible flips and somersaults and move from stone plinth over caverns and do diving somersault rolls and stuff like that. But overall, I think the hand-to-hand combat is very cool and good. You should bring it, since combat and fighting is so central to what makes these creatures the way they are.
Yeah.
You can't skimp on the stunts on this shit. And they did not. And so this is good. The 2, you find out they are brothers, are engaged in this combat. And the smaller one, our hero, loses the fight. The other one has him, I think, at sword point. Do you yield? And the little brother is being very much a little brother. He's like, never! So older brother chops the stone column that his little brother is on, like through with his laser sword, and it goes plummeting into the gloom. It will not be the end, obviously, of our hero who manages to, like, I don't know if he grapple hooks himself to the side, but he manages to crawl back up.
Frank! We own Star Wars, right? Can we do a laser sword?
Hey, these laser swords are fucking awesome. I love these laser swords. They're not lightsabers. They look like a sword, but they just have like a hot knife edge on them, glowing edge.
I liked it. But again, it's just like, let's take every element from other properties we already own.
Well, I mean, they've always had a pretty impressive arsenal that they've always liked adding to different stuff. The bombs and grenades and glaives and spears and little shoulder-mounted cannon and stuff like that. Yeah. Apparently our younger one, Deck, our hero, he hasn't earned his cloak. They're like invisibility cloak that the Yautja use. You have to prove yourself before you can get that.
I've always thought Predator cloak was bullshit.
Really? The invisibility thing?
Yeah.
Why? I think it's so fucking cool. It's such a great
cheating.
effect.
It's cheating.
Oh, come on.
It's a great effect. I love the effect. It's cheating.
Yeah. You mean it's cheating for them to use it?
Yeah.
It's not sporting?
No, it isn't. Not at all.
Huh?
Let me make myself completely invisible.
Yeah.
And then attack you.
That's valid. I thought you just meant that it wasn't cool.
No, it's terribly cool.
Seeing the jungle come alive?
Yeah.
I don't know, she's speaking nonsense. She says the jungle came alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It is. It's awesome. Well, it's very cool. But it's cheating.
You don't get much of it in this one.
No, you don't. Which I'm fine with.
But Deck managed to get back on the ship with his brother, and they're looking at some of their old artifacts from their life, and his brother's talking about, like, if you ever want to earn your cloak, you've got to go to a foreign world, an alien land, and get a trophy and bring it back, and I'm not sure you're ready. But his older brother is being cool, and I wrote in here, in my notes, a brother's love.
It's a brother's love.
Is a brother's love.
Of course. Thank you, Delroy Lindo.
One thing, we've never seen this kind of relationship between the predator species before, but there's a mentor-mentee sort of thing going on here with the older brother and his younger brother. And his older brother tells him about this distant planet, Genna, where everything wants to kill you, and there the most fearsome beast of all lives. And he's like putting it up on the holo display on their computer screen.
This is the only thing Father's afraid of.
Yeah, the Kalisk, the most fearsome beast in the universe. And of course, little bro's like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get that. I'm going to take its head. I'm going to bring it back. And older bro's like, okay. Right,
slow your roll, kid.
Yeah, like ease out of Russia there, Napoleon. He's like, oh, no, man. And he's like, okay. But it is loaded into the computer already, which is an important detail for a little bit. Father calls me weak, so I will prove that I am strong. Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. It's okay. No, it's what I'm going to do. I make my vow. They got to make their vow. They're like honorable.
Yeah.
This is all fucking
I was thinking very Klingon, too, during all this, because they all sounded like the language is very Klingon-ish.
I think, and the attitude, too.
Yeah.
Battle
the warrior,
first, honor.
Warrior attitude.
Sure. Well, their ship lands, and outside, another hover bike approaches. And the gray-locked predator, it's their dad. He's kind of got like a crown of antlers, comes out.
Yeah.
Wants to know how Deck did, and older bro's like, it wasn't so great. His dad's like, he's a runt. It's time to cull the herd.
Kill him.
Now, I understand the predator that plays the dad is the same actor that plays Deck.
Yes.
They just put different armor and
because there's
different appliances
another
on
actor or another two stunt guys that played Deck characters well for a lot of the wire work and stuff.
Yeah, but that guy's name is Demetrius Schuster Kolomatangi. I think I got that last name right. But he will be speaking Yautja for this whole movie, and you don't really see his real face, so...
Yeah.
But he is both of these characters in this moment. Well, older bro takes out his laser sword, and he's like, oh, man, I don't know if I really want to do this. And the dad's like, you got to do it. And older bro's like, all right, man. And then I think the dad throws down like a laser trap. It's like this little like device springs up under his feet, and then
kind of cheaty as well.
Deck onto his knees. Well, dad doesn't want to waste time with this little runt. Not worth his time. And little bro... Deck, he's like, he closes his eyes, his very close set eyes, and then the older bro just knocks him back into the ship instead of cutting his head off. And then dad and the older bro get into a fight. Dad chops off the brother's arm. Oh, green blood splashes on the ground. And I think older bro takes the severed arm and
picks it up and goes boop, 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 and then remote pilots the ship
Yeah.
out of
So
way.
the ship seals itself up and it takes off for the last programmed coordinates, which we know is planet Genna, where everything's trying to kill you. And I think we might see the dad decapitate the brother. I think Dex sees it too.
He does.
What's his brother's name? Like Kyle or something like that? he's like, Kyle!
It's Kwai.
Oh, yeah, Kwai. All right, so I got most of the letters right.
That's good. Kyle!
Well, Deck, he's not a great pilot.
No. But just like the ship in Pitch Black goes through a comet tail or something or some sort of
I think it's the rings of a planet.
The rings of a planet, and gets a whole bunch of holes shot through the ship, and then he can't crash land it, so he just ejects. And
yeah, he's in like a little escape pod that he's rocketing towards the surface.
Like a chair.
Yeah, it's like a chair or kind of like a little gunner's bubble that might be hanging off the bottom of a B-52 or something. And before he even hits the ground, there's like some pterodactyl that's like attacks him. I was like, wow, a bit much. Like, I'm not sure I needed. He could have just crash landed on the plane. He didn't need to get attacked beforehand. But.
Yeah. This is how Predators opens too, with everyone sort of like finding themselves free-falling towards the hostile planet.
Yeah. The bubble crashes into this forest. It's bouncing off ridges, sort of knocks him out of there, and he somersaults to the ground and screams, still feeling the sting of his brother's death, I guess. Kyle! No!
Kyle!
So then Dex got to figure out, like, what the heck is going on? So he's setting out all his weapons. And I do dig this part. I do dig being like, oh, what do we got here? We got, like, our magic bow. It's like our laser bow and our laser sword and our grenades.
I believe they are plasma weapons.
Okay, there you go. Sure. But as he's doing this and like testing stuff out, you see in the background all these vines start coming down and they're taking his weapons, like a spear and everything. So when he turns back, they're all gone. He's like, what the fuck? And then these vines come out of the tree after him. We get a pretty extended sequence of him fighting with the trees. Not the best. He's getting his ass handed to him quite a lot here.
Not a good predator.
But he manages to chop through some of these vines and scramble up a rocky bluff and just get away from these trees. And I think it's at this point where he walks out to get a good vantage of the primeval world that he's landed on, that you see all these creatures in the air and in the distance these hulking monsters and giant rocky crags sticking out of the jungle. Title card.
Yeah, pretty big opening sequence.
Here we are in
credits.
the Badlands.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of that line in Avatar, I think, where Stephen Lang's character says, like, this is a world where everything wants to kill you.
Yeah.
And yes, literally everything in here. Like, he finds some caterpillars that start to expand in his finger, and he throws one in the distance, and it just blows up like a hand grenade.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. After he fights the trees, he meets the caterpillar. And then he's making his way through an area, and all of a sudden some voice starts speaking to him in Yautja.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's Thea speaking to him in his tongue, hoping he can understand. He just is ignoring her, or he doesn't understand her at first.
Yeah.
And then she uses some sort of international translator.
Universal Google Translate.
Exactly. And that allows her to, you'll hear in whatever language you speak, which is, the way that they get around it for the movie.
She's there in some sort of wreckage, and he's walking through a field of these tall plants that looks like they have kind of a pine cone on the top of them, a purple pine cone with thorns sticking out of them. And they expand when somebody gets close to them and then pop and they fire their spikes out. And she explains, like, oh, don't get close to those things because if the needle sticks you, it's going to paralyze you. And that's what that pterodactyl thing is waiting for. She's like super helpful right from the beginning. Hey, Yautja, come help me out. I can help you out. I can help you out. And he's like, get fucked, sister. Yautja ain't got time to talk.
Ain't got time for this shit.
Yeah. But lo and behold, he does get a little too close and he gets stuck in the neck. And she's like, oh, now you did it now. You're going to start feeling a little woozy. And then, you know what? If you want to just throw me that blade on your belt, I could probably help you out. And he reaches down and he takes the glaive, I think, the little spinning. I keep calling it, I mean, I think it is technically called the glaive, like from Krull. But for all of our D&D nerds out there who are like, no, a glaive is really a pole arm, sort of like a Beck de Corbin or a Lucerne hammer, some shit. Like, just know, my dude, I'm just using the sci-fi parlance, okay?
Yeah.
You don't play Dungeons and Dragons for 40 years without learning a little something about pole arms and halberds. Well, he tosses it to her sort of drunkenly and then falls to the ground, and here comes that pterodactyl. You don't see this one. I'm not exactly sure how half a synth propels herself. Does she cut herself loose with the blade and then is able to tackle this pterodactyl?
I've seen it twice. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
All of a sudden, she's there stabbing, and there's fluid splashing up of the creature that she is killing. And then she's like, hey, it's all better now. And then she's like waving the bloody glaive in his face. And then, he wakes up a little bit later.
Yeah. And she's super chipper.
Yeah.
She is very chipper. And
a little too chipper.
Well, I think it could be a legitimate criticism. She will grate on me sometimes. I speak this as a fan of that actress. I think she does a good job in this. But there are times when I wanted Yautja to be like, yo, sister, can you just fucking take it down a couple notches for a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a couple of moments here. Let me collect my thoughts.
Zip it.
And then we're good.
Just zip it.
She explains when he wakes up, she was sent by Weyland-Yutani. She knows that many Yautjas hunt the Kalisk. That's what you're here for, right? Because that actually attacked my whole crew here, and that's what tore me apart, and I was sort of left here alone. But we were looking after the Kalisk too, so I know all about it. I know all sorts of useful information. He's like, oh my God, what have I woken up here? She's asking all sorts of questions, and yeah, he wants to just get away from her.
Yeah, and she's like, you need to use me. And he's like, your fucking Predator fights alone, baby. And she's like, use me like a tool. And he's like, oh, like a tool. Okay. This is the first time a female has ever asked to be used on. Dun, 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 dun.
Over here.
Yeah. Use me, you tool.
That's right.
Have at me, you scoundrel.
In android years, I'm only 17. Predator. Badlands. Oh no, she is half a synth. And she explains too right out the gate that she is specialized in knowing about predatory species. She was programmed that way so that they can take advantage of the situation on this hostile planet. And I did think that was a clever workaround for the writers. Having that be the android's directive of like, I know all about this stuff because that's my whole purpose, was a great way to sort of let the audience know all about this planet and the world and the creatures and stuff like that.
And I realize that this is a Weyland-Yutani synth thousands of years ahead of any Weyland-Yutani synth we've ever seen. But my biggest problem is the fact that she is very not synthy.
Well, neither is David in Alien Romulus, which may not be points for you.
He still talks slow, methodically, doesn't get excited, where she's like, I'm chipper like a 6-year-old.
Yeah. Well, they try to write themselves out of that because she explains that
why did
she's
Mother give us
programmed to be sympathetic because it would help us take more advantage of the animal life on the planet.
I buy it a little bit, but I'm not a fan of it.
No. Like I said, I do think sometimes I'm like, oh, it's a little chipper.
Yeah.
I need you to tone it down just a little bit here. But yes, she convinces him that she'll just be a tool and he can use her because it's not a companion. She's an object.
Yeah.
And he pretty soon crafts like a backpack and is carrying her around like Chewbacca carries C-3PO. That was the design. That was the idea that Trachtenberg had.
Yeah.
And I have to say, too, like, sometimes actors have a fucking weird job, because you figure how many days of shooting did they have where she's just like literally attached to his
in a
back.
backpack, yeah.
And they had rigs, so like he wasn't really hauling Elle Fanning around all the time. But the fact that they were just attached for probably hours at a time.
Sure.
I saw a little interview with the actors, and they were like, well, luckily we became friends almost immediately, because if we had not liked each other, it would have been unbearable.
Sure. For a few scenes, he carries her by the shirt before he makes the little backpack thing.
Yeah.
And then he even throws her up onto a cliff because he needs his hands to climb. She's like, wow, I've never been thrown before. I'm just like, oh my God. Just stove her head in with a rock already.
She's too useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they go camping for the night. And this is when we meet Thea's sister bot.
Yeah.
Tessa.
Yeah.
Also a Weyland-Yutani synth, and also played by Elle Fanning. And Tessa is talking to Mother, right?
Yes.
She's downloading a new directive from Mother. It's talking about they want to capture the Kalisk for themselves. And
she also happens to know about the Yautja.
Yeah, they know that already. I mean, I don't know, off-planet monitoring. He did crash land, so it's possible they know that there is a Yautja out there. Thea mentions that she knows many Yautja hunt the Kalisk, so I don't know, maybe it's happened before. But yes, Mother says the Yautja is a threat. The company is not pleased. She's a much, to your earlier point, a much sort of colder synth.
Yeah.
More traditional Weyland-Yutani synth than Thea is.
I like my synths cold and traditional.
That's right. You like a traditional synth.
Yeah. Don't give me that synth that's, all up into synth rights and everything. Give me a synth that's just like, I know what I am, baby.
It's hard to argue for synth rights when in the earlier scene Theo was like, use me like an object.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay.
Exactly.
That's how Yautja roll. The next morning, Deck is hungry and checking out like a bison sort of thing, giant bison. But he can't get to it because the grass is like razor grass, like giant white blades sticking up that will cut you to ribbons.
Brought to you by Magic the Gathering. You'll lose 3 life if you step into razor grass. Which is true. I don't play Magic the Gathering, but this is true.
And this is also when we get our first glimpse at a character who will become known as Bud. Bud is kind of like this little monkey-looking thing.
Yeah.
It's very sort of cutesy. It's not necessarily too cutesy from the beginning. Like, sometimes you can identify Cousin Oliver as soon as he comes into the Brady Bunch. You know what I mean? You're just like, what the fuck is this? What is happening right now?
It is a little too cutesy.
Well, it gets too cutesy
within
at
like
times.
5 minutes.
But it rolls into a ball, and it can roll through the razor glass because it has like a thick hide or something. And Thea's like, well, I guess you can't have the bison. And Deck is like, you give up too quickly. And this is when we get some of that jumping through the trees, overly digital stuff that I was talking about. Where I'm like, I wish they had just done this simpler, taken a little bit of time, had him get into a tree or maybe go to another tree and scope out a spot to tackle the bison from on high. But he's like jumping from tree to tree to tree to tree. It's crazy. Thea's like, hey, watch out, there's Luna bugs out here. Like, what the fuck is a Luna bug? I don't know. But Deck manages to get high ground on this bison thing and essentially slice into it and cut it in half. Oh, he's celebrating his first kill, I guess, on the planet when all of a sudden a tentacled bug monster in the trees like wraps around him and raises him up. It's like, whoa, what is that? And she's like, oh, that's the Luna bug that I was talking about. Oh, you made it seem like it was kind of innocuous, like, watch out, don't squash the Luna bug. This thing is a tentacled monstrosity right out of H.P. Lovecraft's imagination. It's all tentacles and mouth and teeth. And it's a little too much.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little too much.
Totally too much. It's unnecessary.
And it's going to eat him, but Bud, the little monkey thing we had seen earlier, which took an immediate shine to our Yautja, somehow gets up there and gets into its mouth, and with its hard exterior, the Lunabug breaks its teeth on Bud's hide, right?
Something like that.
Isn't that what happens?
I kind of don't 100% remember.
Yeah. But essentially saves them from being eaten by cracking the thing's teeth.
And then he gets up there and he picks it in the head, stabs it in the brain.
Yeah. He cuts down a tree, and then he rides down and jumps it. It is.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we're struggling to narrate to tell exactly how it happened speaks to the level of digital nonsense that's going on.
It's just a bunch of ones and zeros and things not applying to gravity.
Yeah, exactly. And here where Thea's just chatter. We're like a dynamic threesome, a dynamic trio. Like enough. Enough. I mean, it may be kind of the point that her character is going on so much, but I found myself as the audience member feeling a little more like the Yautja of like, oh man, if you do not shut up, I am going to hurl you off this cliff and pick you up tomorrow.
In one of those earlier scenes, she says, "What teeth do you chew with? Do you chew with the inner teeth, or do you chew with the mandibles on the outside?" And I'm like, oh my God, shut up.
Well, part of me kind of likes that because she's talked about how she's a scientist who's learning how these predatory species work. So there's a reason for it. This one, she's like, the dynamic trio. Ha ha ha. So tell me more about your brother. Oh, father killed him. Oh, why'd he kill him? Jesus. Give me a break here, will you?
Yeah. Tell me about the cancer that's running through your family.
But he makes the connection of like Tessa is her sister. I think he calls her her sister. And she's like, oh,
sister.
I guess she is. I need to find her. She just wants to find Tessa. That's like her whole directive at this point. And this is where, for me, my fears about Bud being too cutesy, this little blue sort of monkey cat thing.
It's the Jaws mimic scene, right?
Yeah, I wrote monkey see, monkey do here.
Yeah.
Because he is... and I think in a movie like this, right, you struggle. You've got to find moments of humor, and you've got to find moments of comic relief. But this is so cutesy that I just don't dig it. And also in this scene is when Bud spits right on the Yautja, like right in his face.
Yeah.
And Decca's like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And Thea is like, no, you don't understand. He's marking you as one of his tribe. One of his family.
That's right.
Say.
That's right. That's what I'm
all
talking about.
Family.
That's why these movies are about family.
How they're pairing together right now. Yeah. Okay. We're going to cut back to Tessa in the synths now, and she finds the Yautja's crashed ship and some of the weaponry on there.
Yep.
The frost grenades.
The frost grenades. We see all the skulls, which is cool. We got a view of the skulls earlier. There is a river ghost from Predators. There's one of those skulls in there.
Sure.
There is a skull of the Harvester alien from Independence Day.
That one I could have done without. And I didn't recognize it right away, and it's just an Easter egg. I think she might touch it or something. But in Predator 2, when you see the xenomorph skeleton, you're like, fuck yes, that's the crossover I want.
I remember that. I remember
it's super exciting
during that. Yeah.
But I could have done without this particular chocolate in my peanut butter. I was like, don't bring Independence Day into this now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's something that could quite possibly be an engineer skull in there.
Yeah, that's the kind alien. Of bigger, sort of human-looking one.
And there's an orc skull.
Nerds! Oh yeah, we see Tessa and the rest of them sort of acquire some of the weaponry. She pushes a button on the frost grenade to see like a little frost come out there. I think it might even freeze like her thumb or something.
Yeah, like her 3 fingers like freeze up. Yeah.
Interesting. We cut back to the heroes. It's time to go. He's putting her backpack style on, I think, and she's like, "No, we can't leave Bud." And Predator's like,
we can totally leave Bud, because Bud is just a stupid little cute character. I don't want Bud.
Yeah. But The Predator has started a character journey now. He's not going to be quite such a loner as he was before.
He's on the hero's arc, but he is no longer a lone wolf. He will become a pack master.
That's right. And Thea, I think this is the scene where Thea talks about that, right?
That's right.
You should know something about the wolves. The alpha isn't necessarily the one that makes the kill. The alpha is the one that protects the rest of the pack.
Yeah. And then he goes, I will be the alpha that makes the most kills.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Worf.
Well, it's also, again, Jersey meatball mentality. Here it comes.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be the best at everything.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. I'll know how to do everything.
As long as you keep your family close.
Jesus.
You gotta be the alpha for your pack. Dog.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Thea is upset with him that he left Bud behind, but he doesn't care. He's just going to be the alpha who makes the most kills.
That's right. That's okay. It's right after this that she takes him to the wreck site.
To the Weyland-Yutani camp. Yep.
Yeah.
She takes him to the wreck site. The Callus destroyed most of the mission team, but yes, they find her legs.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, great, set me on the table, I can get my legs. And she instantly starts interfacing with the computer and starting up the little synthesizer to reattach her bottom half.
I thought that was pretty cool. I really like that digital effect of stitching her halves together.
Yeah.
I thought that was neat.
And it's during this, too, where she thanks Dec, and Dec discovers that the company also wants the Callus, right? I think they have a little heart-to-heart.
She said it. Yeah, she's like, sorry, we're looking for it, too, because it has these other things that we want. And he's a little pissed. And then she's like, you got to leave. You got to go because they're coming. Because they're coming for it, because they know I'm here, and they know it's coming.
Yeah, essentially she set off a beacon when she went back into the camp and started reattaching her legs.
Yeah, he's pissed.
He is totally pissed.
So what's he do? He blows some shit up, like a predator might. Start a big giant fire.
To attract the Callus.
Does Callus come to fire? Is that what?
I guess.
All right.
Something's making a big ruckus in its
You gotta go check that shit out, dog.
Yeah. It takes her a while. She's still stitching herself together when the Callus arrives. This huge hulking beast, quadruped, sharp lion's mane of spikes around its face, has jaws that open up with another set of jaws in between.
It's very
face
predator, alien, let's mishmash all these creatures into a thing and make it a thing, and yeah.
And immediately Dec tries fighting it, and it knocks. Dec goes flying. He manages to scramble to his feet, cuts off its tail at one point, and this is why you see it's so fearsome. And she had said something like, you can't kill this thing.
Yeah.
It's because it regenerates, like instantly, like the tail just starts to
He's become a better
reform.
predator because he's fighting the shit out of this. He slices its whole belly open. He cuts the tail off. This is a decent fight sequence, and he's showing that he would master this thing, except for the fact that it regenerates.
Yeah. And I do think this is an honestly funny moment, too, where, like, she's still in the med bay and her legs are almost on there. And then I think he comes crashing through the wall because the Callus knocks him through and severs her legs again.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, come on.
It was funny. Sure.
So she's back to just being like a top half, and Dec is struggling. She manages to find a rifle and begins to shoot at the Callus as Dec winches its tail, and essentially through this whole process manages to hook both sides of the Callus up and mobilize it enough to cut its head off.
Taxidermy man gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I've hung him.
The head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Problem is, as soon as that head comes off, it starts to reattach itself back onto the body. Oh, shit. It doesn't seem fair, really. But.
No, it doesn't. But that's when suddenly Thea shows up and hits it with the frost grenade.
And it's an important part of this, is that first it pins Dec to the ground and roars.
Oh, that's right.
It's going to eat him, and then
it smells.
It smells.
The marking of Bud. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it decides not to attack Dec.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll find out later that it is because Bud has spit on him and marked him as family. But for a moment, it remains a mystery. Yeah. Tia comes out with a frost grenade, manages to freeze them both, freezes the Kalisk and Deck underneath it. All the synths have arrived. Well, Deck awakes on the ship, on the Weyland-Yutani ship. They're not in orbit or anything, but he's restrained. And Tessa explains to Deck that you are now the property of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Thea's been deactivated. She's just sort of over there.
Yeah. Tessa's doing like experiments on Deck. She's plugging things into his head, shocking him, and Thea is awake at this point, and she's screaming for her to stop. And she suggests that, that they're sisters, and that the Yautja is there's something wrong with it. We should let it go. We should keep its technology. That's what's really important here. But look at him. He's got a broken tooth. There's something wrong with him. So he's
a run. He's inferior.
Yeah. You don't want this one. We'll get another one, but let's take his gear. And then that's when Tessa says, all the weak must be culled. She wants to kill it, right? And that's when Thea freaks out and stops it, uses her hand to hit the off switch to stop her from shocking the Yautja.
Yeah, Tessa is cold and calculating and just wants to take his body back to Weyland-Yutani. But Thea has grown fond of him, and she will rescue him.
Well, the sister leaves, and then one of the male synths comes in, and they start speaking in just Yautja. Her and
that's
Deck
right.
start speaking in just Yautja, and he's like, "Why are you talking in its language?" And she says, "Oh,
he can't download that patch. I guess he can't just download Yautja."
He should have had it. It should have been an upgrade.
He's just like, hold on a second.
Yeah, it couldn't have taken that long. But no, now they've got this secret way they can speak to each other, and one of the toy. It's like a weapon, but it's not a weapon. It's a toy.
That's right.
Is the reason he has the broken tooth because it blew up and his brother saved him from it and blah, blah, blah. So that toy is one of the things that they've captured. And she's like, we're talking in your language now. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, we're talking about that weapon and how does it work? And he's like, okay, we'll ask him how it works. And Dex says, tell him it's a map. Tell him he's got to open it and look into it. And we cut to Tessa in the other room and you just hear boonk. Like a shot, like a boom, and then there's white splashed all over the window, and you're like, okay, male synth just got his head blown off.
Yeah. And after it blows him up, Thea's like, what? That was a toy?
Yeah. A child's
a toy for Yautja, I think is what he says. Like,
yeah.
All right.
That's true.
And so he goes rolling out the back as Tessa comes in, and Deck has essentially escaped. But he has had all his technology, all his weapons have been taken away from him.
So you know what we need now?
A montage! Absolutely.
Yeah. We gotta show the Predator walking around to the things we've seen earlier in the movie.
Exploding caterpillars, razor grass.
Yeah.
Also a thing that spits acid.
Yeah.
Montage.
It's a montage. Oh, boy.
Now, part of this I love, because I think it is cool that, like, all of these things that he's encountered, he's sort of now repurposing the razor grass. He's, making his own arrows and stuff. The one thing that I really hate, though,
is the eel.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid.
So we'd seen this thing earlier, and these are these eels that are in a canyon, and they spit acid, and Thea's character had shown the Yautja, like, look, they go crazy for these berries, so as long as you feed them these berries, they're actually really docile, and they'll be cool to you. So he gets these berries, and he essentially domesticates one, and it becomes...
in like an hour.
Shoulder cannon. Well, yes. I mean, let's not even talk about time during this part because, yes, he does all of this.
Yeah.
All of this montage is in the span of like a couple of hours, I guess.
Yeah.
But it becomes like the shoulder-mounted cannon that the Predators always have, with the 3 laser lights that fires off. But now it's this eel that spits acid out, and it doesn't make any sense, and I do not like this thing at all.
Yeah. So now he's got to go save Thea, and he heads to Weyland-Yutani with all of his new tools and toys and shoulder leech cannon, and goes to their little base. And the first thing we see is one of those synth dudes get melted all of a sudden right through its chest.
Yeah.
And that's when we see, we've got the laser-mounted slime eel cannon.
Yeah, the eel cannon. It's weak, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They could have done without that particular one. The other stuff, the things he makes out of razor grass and some of the other plants, and even the exploding caterpillar grenades,
Sure.
I'm going to give a pass to those on, because at least it seemed like he was using those as a tool. Mm-hmm. He essentially got himself a pet with this thing, and I think it's just a little dumb, frankly.
Yeah.
It's also during the montage where he reunites with Bud, and this is when he realizes that Bud is in fact a Kalisk child.
Yeah.
He is a baby Kalisk, and that's why
it's all about family.
By the Kalisk is because Bud had marked him as one of his family members.
That's right.
It's all about family. We got a pack now. I'm the alpha.
And as annoying and cutesy as I do find Bud to be, I did like this reveal, and it allowed me to throw my hands up and go, okay, if it's serving a greater purpose in this story, I'm going to give that one a pass. Mm-hmm. If it had just been cutesy to be fucking cutesy, I would have given that a huge thumbs down. But it does serve a story beat here. And in my mind, that makes it a lot more palatable than just, we wanted to put something in we could make a plushie of to sell to the kids.
Yeah.
But now with Bud in tow and all of his new armor and natural weaponry, he makes his way to the synth camp. And that's when you see that one synth get melted.
Mm-hmm. And then we start a big fight. Thea's legs are making their way back to the camp, comically walking through stuff.
Yes.
And then
does he get the legs?
No.
Does he get the legs, or how does...
She hits like a return to home button, and they start heading back. So the legs are just making the walk by themselves.
Yeah. I did think, because the legs will come into the camp and the legs will fight on their own, which is silly.
Again,
and I did
silly,
think, how useless are these other synths that a pair of legs can walk in and dispatch them so easily? Like, Weyland-Yutani really got a fucking discount on this particular model. Because I'm like, that is half of a synth, and not even the most useful half. Well, you know what I mean.
The Cameron synth is a real dud.
And yes, she manages to get her legs to come back to her while she's still in there. And then she reunites with Deck, at this point, after he's waded through a bunch of different synths.
He blows a whole bunch of them up with the grenades, and
Bud has taken a few out. Yeah, he's using the explodey caterpillars and
it's
all
all
that
very
stuff.
cute. It's a very cute fight sequence that gets us to the point where, now she's out and trying to reunite with her legs, and here comes the bad bitch again, the mean sister.
Tessa, the mean sister. And the Kalisk has been freed at this point, right?
I think first she comes after Deck in the power loader, which is like the alien's power loader, but it's way bigger than the power loader, and he's struggling with her, and then that's when the Kalisk comes and gets loose. But then she fights the Kalisk, and it's like a Transformers versus Kaiju kind of thing.
I mean, it is the most bald-faced fan service moment in this whole thing.
Yeah.
When she comes out in this power loader.
Yeah.
And it's bigger, and it's got a buzzsaw for one of its arms, and it's got all these different accoutrements and stuff.
But it's like way bigger than the power loader.
Yeah, I know, and it's got like a full like wood shop on it. I did think like, what exactly? Because the power loader, you're like, I get it, you're moving cargo with this thing.
Yeah.
But this thing that she comes out in, I'm like, what do you need all those gadgets for? Like the buzzsaw.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I guess it's cool.
It's
but
cutting down trees and lathing table legs.
I guess it's cutting down trees. I guess they have it to clear the forest and
the
things
Lumberjack
like
3000. Brought to you by Weyland-Yutani.
That's right.
Clear swaths of forest in just a minute.
That's right. It also has a giant cast iron skillet that comes out and it makes flapjacks over the campfire. You could just It's got a whole sausage processing unit. Takes the guts out of the pig and hangs it up, bleeds it, makes
it comes
sausage.
in safety yellow and red flannel colors.
Yes. Hunter's orange coming soon.
It's absurd.
Yeah, but she has this big fight with the Callisk, and buzz saws through it, but it's able to sort of regenerate, of course, and tears off the lid, the canopy.
Yeah, it kind of tears it open so that she's
exposed.
Yeah, and the Callisk bites down on her and essentially swallows her. Yeah.
Yay! And Thea during this whole time was like, Dak, you want to free the Callisk? And he explains, Bud is the Callisk's child. And she's like, it's the Callisk's child.
Oh, I never
And this
knew.
is something, I'm like, come on, bullshit. As a fucking robot, and that's your specialty, she should have identified this thing right away.
Yeah, they have the same face.
I call bullshit on that one because earlier in the movie I thought, well, that's good writing that you created this whole aspect about her that she can help the audience understand as Dec understands. But at this point I was like, this shouldn't be a surprise. I think that's a bad choice.
So the Callisk, the child Bud, comes up to the mother Callisk essentially, and there's the cutesy little moment like we had in the end of Bambi. And
but it's not to be.
And then all of a sudden starts to freeze from the inside because, we forgot. And Tessa's got Mr. Freeze grenades.
It is hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, T-1000 treatment, blown to pieces, and just shatters like glass, and not a dry eye in the house. But here is Tessa standing.
She looks all fucked up.
Apparently froze her hair off. I guess when she made any kind of move, her hair just snapped off and broke.
That could have been in the digestive juices of the Callisk's belly.
Sure. But she looks like Cassandra Nova from Deadpool 3 or Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy before she was bad. Right?
Okay. Sure. It's just bald chicks.
Yeah, at this moment, I'm like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, Marvel, I get it.
Well, it will get a little bit more Guardians of the Galaxy as this movie comes to its conclusion. Tessa comes out of that mess and, as you say, looking a little bit like Nebula, or insert your effed up, bald female action star.
Villain.
Yeah, exactly. Looking quite villainous. That's what it is.
Betrayed by my own sister.
And Thea says, we're not sisters. And does Thea do something to her at that point? I can't remember. I know Dec is going to
kind of distracting her, and then
stick her through the neck with an icicle.
Then Dec kind of stabs her from behind
But we know that's not going to kill a synth. You're not going to kill a synth with an icicle through the neck?
No.
So it's up to Bud, who tears her head from her shoulders.
Yeah. Dec does a slow walk away like, all right, that's cool. Because she's sort of like on her knees in standby mode, like with the thing stuck through her neck. Yeah. And that's when cute little Bud jumps up and tears her head off and holds it aloft like the Predator roaring, head with a little bit of spine.
Attached spine dangling down. Yeah.
Which is what you hated about the 28 Days Later Alpha.
28 years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they did it every single time.
That's right.
And this is
the Predator does it every single time, too. I watched a lot of Predator movies.
Once a movie, maybe, right? Like once a movie? Does it always happen?
There's a couple of movies where it happens more than once, but yeah.
Are those good movies?
I don't know, man.
No.
You know what I never understood about the Predator? Why does it skin people? It skins them and hangs them upside down. How does it skin them? What is it doing with the skin? It's not doing anything with the skin. It just takes the spine and the skull. So
maybe
I don't understand.
Skin is the tastiest part.
Oh, boy, I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. When was the last time you had a bucket of Popeyes? You know skin's the best part.
Okay, you're right. I stand corrected.
Spaceship going back to Yautja Prime now. It lands. Dad, with his antlers and his gray sort of locks, is there, looking imperious. How dare the runt come back? And instead of a Callisk skull, you just see the ka-dunk, like a Weyland-Yutani android.
Yeah.
Metal skull sort of clank on there. Dad's like, where's your trophy? And then it hits the ground. And he's like, that is my trophy. Dad's like, kill him. So 2 Predator guards come out, and Dec fucking takes him to pieces.
Yeah.
He's learned to fight. He's learned to fight. Before, he could not take out 1. Now he takes out 2.
2 at the same time.
He's got a way. All right, Dad's going to have to do this himself. So then we get a little fight between the two of them, right? Again, the hand-to-hand, the stunt work, this is all cool. This is all a cool part of this movie. And I wish they had relied a little bit more on this grounded. I think you hit on it. It's like you can tell when they have this fight that gravity is having an effect on the action.
There's a difference between stuntmen fighting, even if they're on wires, and all digital bullshit.
Yeah, and when it gets all digital bullshit, the primal forces of nature have no effect on it, and it just looks phony. But as the fight progresses and it gets to a point where Deck traps his father with the laser trap that we had seen from earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
Perhaps the right son did survive.
Yeah.
Dad being a little conciliatory now. Yeah, it always happens.
You know what?
You know, it happens when you get a laser trap and sort of dragged to the ground. You change your tune a little bit.
Yield now and take your place in our clan.
No.
And Deck's like, I have my own clan.
That's right, because it's all about family.
And Bud chomps off his head.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger Bud now.
Oh,
Bud
yeah,
has grown.
Bud's growing fast.
He's like, he's like mid-size. I don't know what you're feeding that thing as you're floating around space, but Bud is bigger, chomps off Dad's head, and Deck takes the invisibility cloak, which looks like a little button, off of his dad, and puts it on himself. And he takes his dad's sword, too. He's got the cloak, the sword, and you see Thea's behind with her legs and Bud. And this is when I thought, oh, here's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Completely.
Like, here we're going to have a sequel, and we're going to have this crew going around from planet to planet,
I would
fucking stuff up. Yeah, I feel like that might be an inevitability about this movie.
Man.
And title, Predator Badlands.
Yeah.
And then, it's not done yet, because here comes another spaceship. And Thea's like, oh, is that friends? And Deck's like, I think it's my mother.
Yeah.
Roll credits. Predator Badlands.
Rated PG-13. Bring the whole family.
Do you know what I find really amazing, though? Is that we got through this whole thing and we hardly touched on Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonations. I thought this whole recording was going to be like, this is what happens in this movie.
Yeah, it's true. I kind of expected it too.
Since we are talking about doing more sci-fi features in the future, I got to put Total Recall high on my wish list.
Oh, yeah.
Of movies that we do.
2 weeks.
Get your ass to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars. I do love his
That movie has the best Arnold squeal in it.
Yeah.
When he's like on the surface of Mars and his eyes are bugging out.
Yeah. That's got great makeup effects by Rob Bottin, too, in that movie.
Oh, it's
fucking
good.
Fantastic.
Movie's wonderful.
It is.
But anyway. All right. Well, there you have it. Pitch Black.
And
Predator Badlands.
Predator Badlands, yeah. Both films about family. Speaking of family, Tyler.
Get to the outro.
The head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
There's a bomb in there. Open the door. Anyway, join us next time on The Head, the Tail, the Whole Damn Thing, where we're going to go to Nightmare on Elm Street and Black Phone 2. That's going to be a good one, huh? With Mike D. McCarthy and James Knight. And I'm your announcer, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Bah! Have you ever met my little... I have a... he's very nice little donkey. I feed him blueberries. Did you know that cherries help regenerate muscle tissue? Did you know? Ah!